to what Liquid was bringing to the table, and we're also going to find out what they are going to do against TNC. I am very curious to see what TNC is going to ban, because yesterday we saw one of the games against Team Nigma. They knew exactly who to target. They just removed 7 supports in their bans, showing that they'd done their homework. They knew exactly what they wanted to do in that game, and I'm curious what they'll go for in the first game of the series, as we do have a draft coming your way. PSG.LGD versus TNC Predator. We got PSG.LGD on the Dire side, TNC on the Radiant side, and
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. TNC Predators turn.
Enchantress.
TNC Predators turn.
Go off of besides scrims, of course, data that you can get from pubs, but it's been a while since all of these guys played officials, I believe, even for PSG.LGD, right? T is or did China have some officials going on still running up to this?
Yeah, so they during the DPC they had some tournaments, but
yes,
it was actually crazy because like the scheduling of it was they delayed DPC for a break after the major, but then they run the tournament with the players, and now they still haven't even finished the tournament because now the team's at the major. So that's really hard to say. Like, they basically been on and off playing this side tournament. I think it's called I-League or something, but yeah, there has been a higher volume of games.
So, are you saying TNC plays in I-League as well?
No, PSG.LGD.
Okay, LGD, I see, yeah. Yeah, from what I've heard, I-League is like, well, I watched I-League and I saw Fate Beyond playing for Undying, and I was like, position 4, what happened?
Playing, yeah.
Did he like have such a bad game of offlane? They're putting him as it's like he's downgraded to a 4, but no, I think they're just having fun messing around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to learn, right? I mean, that's how you get a Viper that goes jungle as well. That doesn't happen unless you had to do this at some point.
Sure.
In a pub or an official non-DPC related. All right, let's see then. We got a Snapfire Mag picked up by TNC again. As mentioned, Mag is an absolute flex pick for this team. They play it on all different positions. Snapfire so far has only been position 5 though, so we can remove the Mag 5 probably from those options. PSG.LGD going for the Death Prophet and the Enchantress. Any opening you like more?
I like the idea of PSG's opening because you pick the Ench because you naturally want to play Ench into AA, so therefore TNC is kind of deterred from picking it. They then get to go for a Death Prophet, closing out the first phase, instantly into an AA ban. They ban the Lina out as well, which is a very good here against DP in the mid lane especially, because you play off range, you never have to siphon from the DP. So yeah, it's very much a pretty smart tactical opening from PSG to kind of get everything they want and then get kind of multi-value bans from first and second phase.
I think also one like underrated thing about the Enchantress Death Prophet, and actually one of the big reasons that I think Enchantress, despite a lot of nerfs, came back into the meta at Season 2 DPC is because the Enchantress running a creep at a tower, oftentimes with just like +1 push hero or with like a catapult, there's not much you can do to beat that timing, because Ench can show up to your tower at 5 minutes, nobody's ready to fight, and that creep just is a complete beast. And then with a Death Prophet who's level 6, it's like any tower you put these 2 heroes in front of is going to die. The only problem is like it's a bit squishy between these 2 heroes, so probably some sort of like Centaur type hero is something that they need to pick, but that's okay. They only have 2 heroes.
I think the key thing here is the way in which Magnus is played, unless it's a 5, because TNC has run at 5 before, and I think with this type of opening from PSG, I think you might want to put the Mag into a 5 role.
You want to put Snap 4?
Yeah, like put Snap 4, Mag 5, go for like a PA, for example, just because Ench DP will look towards playing together. Every ult go for a tower. Mag naturally goes from lane to jungle. He doesn't really want to show up and defend the tower. It kind of ruins his kind of the timings of his farm efficiency early on. And that's why I think PSG were happy to go for a DP so quickly, was because it's like, well, you have this Mag, great, but your kind of smooth entry to the game is completely kind of removed.
If they play the Mag 5, they absolutely need something that's going to defend their tower.
Yeah, for sure.
Because otherwise you're going to get mega ran out. So I agree with the idea that like the Mag jungle is a slow timing for a core, where normally that core would be the one to show up and defend towers. So maybe flex it to a 5 position with some sort of PA type hero. Maybe Juggernaut, because it's a little more early game centric. It's a little bit less risky, but you definitely need something that's like maybe a Lina, you know? Oh, actually, Lina.
Banned.
Lina is very much banned.
Yeah.
But something to long range, like non-committally defend towers. Puck would also be quite good.
Yeah, the Armel Puck. We've seen him do that before.
He popped off yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
despite having a really rough early game, he still eventually came back. And I love that he goes Boots of Travels every game. I was trying to figure out like why he went Boots of Travels in that game, and all I could think of is just that I think this team just really values, in general, Boots of Travel as an item in any game. Okay, so they do go for the buck. I think legitimately bots are in such a place that you should have a bots hero, or at least a hero that has brown boots with the option of going bots in every single game. I think this item is far too good to not go for it. It just gives you the option to clear up all of the dead lane farm that you don't, that nobody else wants to take. Basically means you get to have one extra mid laner. You know, that level of farm in the game.
Yeah.
Interesting puck from TNC, because it's showing more about their own confidence in what they want to play rather than what PSG is picking. Because naturally DP into puck mid lane is heavily DP favored, because you have to silence, you pressure the tower, and you don't really get annoyed by the puck itself. So yeah, TNC very much drafting for what they need in the game. And I would even argue with the Spectre, Ursa, Void ban, somewhat more elusive carry heroes, that I would gravitate towards saying the Mag could easily be a carry in this game, because like the way in which TNC dismantled Nigma was from these clean executions of Mag RP's the core, the carry, whatever, he dies, move on.
Honestly, yeah, the Spectre ban instantly makes me think it's a Mag core, because otherwise, if it's a Mag support, it's like you don't care if the blink is being canceled. There's no blink. Mag
you're
5
skewing around like, oh!
You're skewering in pathetically to try to hit your RPs. But as a core, it's like you're relying on those blink RPs, so you're definitely right with the carry bans.
Well, let's see. PSG.LGD is taking quite a long time to think of an answer to this. TNC hasn't run puck in any different position other than having our Mel play at mid.
I don't think so.
Death Prophet most likely going to be on the offlane. So is this the place, is it the time where you would search for a hero for nothing to say? Nope. Turns out that's not the case.
This is, you ban an AA second phase and you have 3 heroes that have a component of healing. This is going to be a very tanky lineup that can individually potentially survive an RP, but also enable each other to get through it.
It seems like a really good Vessel game, honestly. Like, it may be a Vessel carry or just get it on your puck, because you're totally right. Like, this is way too much healing to just ignore it. And these heroes are very squishy. If you can get through the healing, it's like they're not hard to kill. The one problem for TNC is none of these heroes in LGD, you don't know where any of them are going. Like, this could be a 4 or 5 Wyvern, this could be a 4 or 5 Enchantress, this could be an offlane or a mid Death Prophet.
Exactly, yeah.
So we don't actually know what the lanes are going to be. But then on the flip side, it's the same. We don't know if this is a carry Magnus. We don't know if it's mid, it could be an offline Magnus. Who knows?
I guess the key thing here is TNC, their draft so far, it is just robust, and it works, you know? Like, if it is a carry Magnus, like, there's so much damage coming from it in regards to Snapfire and puck. So the tankiness of PSG through Cold Embrace and Enchantress, these are heroes that do die to any magic damage. So now they pick up a Pangolier as well. Like, TNC actually has a really nice draft to deal with the flexibility and the healing components of PSG.
Pango is a tough hero though into the Wyvern. I mean, that's one of the classic
because of the Winter's Curse stopping the Rolling Thunder.
He just balls up and you just curse him and get out, and you know, it's one of the best heroes to disengage against is this Pangolier, and Winter Wyvern's like arguably the best disengaging support in the game.
This is why I think TNC they've covered themselves with 3 forms of initiation now. So if the Rolling Thunder, if Pango's getting cursed, the puck's then jumping in and coiling. If the puck's getting cursed, the Mag's RP and the Rolling, you know, like they have so many ways to kind of get into the fight that it's all about PSG having really good positioning. Like the DP, be it off lane, be it mid, needs to get to like Yule's BKB really quickly so that she can frontline and ensure that the Wyvern is always in the optimal position to get the correct curse out. Like, a methodical game is required.
Okay, there's the
more tanky.
DK mid, most likely now DP off lane. Unless they want to do DK offlane like Nigma runs, but I don't think they've run that so far in DP.
No, and then they've only played DP once for Faith Beyond. But again, the flexibility still there. We know that PSG.LGD is a versatile team, so they probably run multiple ways. Are we expecting the Pango then being a Tim's Pango, position 4? We saw him play it yesterday as well, and I feel like that would push Mag as the offlaner, leaving us looking for a Gabby hero for them. And that's also what PSG.LGD is thinking, considering they are banning out Terrorblade. We have TNC banning out the Medusa.
Yeah, I think in PSG's position, because they don't have ultimate last pick, they should just ban heroes that are like big win conditions. Because if TNC want to go for a Mag carry, it's all about execution and finesse. And of course, PSG, they have the confidence playing into this style because they are very good at kind of turtling up, and that's why they are putting a little bit more emphasis on banning carries and allowing TNC their creativity in their draft.
Yeah, there's like every single carry ban right now.
Loads of them. Juggernaut's still in. You mentioned him earlier. PA, obviously still
seconds
combinations with the mag.
5
But
seconds.
we're definitely getting a smaller pool. Where Wraith King still in as one of the usual suspects, I guess.
Wraith King. So Wraith King is like their comfort, but
Yeah.
the problem with Wraith King is like Death Prophet, DK. Like these heroes are so easily able to just kill him after the ult. It's like it's not like you're popping something on the Wraith King and then okay he comes back alive and then they don't have it up. Like the Death Prophet ult will still go. The DK stun is going to be on such a low cooldown that you can kill him when it's up. So that's the only thing is. But you know, with the mag, you've got the big crit. Like that doesn't seem that bad.
Did I just go for like a morphling or something here? Just go for one more hero that likes playing like healing-esque, enabled by the hill, higher value. There's not a lot of like instant damage. It's more kind of like control and slow ticking damage where morphling can thrive. And
TNC Predators turn.
see?
Bloodseeker.
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 Cool.
Okay.
Did not see that coming.
I'm talking about like some win condition. Like nope. Let's fight. Let's go. Let's just get out. And now they have Bloodseeker versus Pangolier. Of course, the Pango will not have a fun time. As soon as he rolls up, he gets ruptured. He's out of the fight.
But isn't that a good thing if it's a Pango 4? It's like,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Yeah, it's not. When you're a support Pango and the enemy picks Bloodseeker, it's like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't really care that much. But that means that it basically does guarantee this probably will be a Tim's Pango.
Yeah.
Which is nice. That means you know the lane is easy for Bloodseeker because what the hell does a Pango 4 do? You're just always gonna go even in the
You're
lane.
always playing on pools anyway. And there's
You
the
go.
PA.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Whew. The Mag PA combo. We're just waiting to see who picks up what to get some more clarity. We got a position for Winter Wyvern. Nothing really spectacular other than it's nothing to say on the Death Prophet and the DK is on the off lane. While on the side of TNC, they are waiting with picking up. Oh, there we go. We got the Mag off lane, the Armel Puck mid, yeah, and the Tim's Pango. Nothing too surprising there.
Expect,
then yeah, that's the one that is expected. So, do we have a favorite?
I think this PA pick, it does put a lot of emphasis on early fighting, but it can easily be dismantled by really good positioning of Wyvern, because you're not going to be blowing up like DP once she gets like a plate mail, or you're not really blowing up the DK. So it can be like an awkward game for the PA. But yeah, no, I think they do have good game once they get over that hurdle. A couple more items, they're good.
Yeah, I think TNC, if the game does somehow go late, they obliterate LGD.
Okay.
I think it's not even remotely
Slight
close
hurdle
to
they
the
have to
late
get
game.
over.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But with that being said, LGD with DK, Death Prophet, Enchantress, I mean, these are insane pushing heroes. So I would just give the edge to LGD that I think they're a more structured team. And that with this pushing lineup, they will actually be able to close out the game before PA can get any farm.
So for all the TNC fans, as long as TNC can defend their towers, even just a little bit, they'll be okay.
If they're not losing, they're winning.
Yes.
For sure. I think the late game's not even close.
Yeah, like, this is one of the interesting games where you've got a Bloodseeker lineup with so much healing that it means you can survive long enough that your enemy will go low. Therefore, the value of Bloodseeker Thirst will go up immensely. So I hope to see a couple big drawn-out fights, and maybe Bloodseeker, like an MKB +1, he can actually fight the PA later on as well. Yeah, this will be some high-octane 20-minute fights, really key spell usage. It'll be beautiful.
Long drawn-out fights, I hear. We saw the kill per minute for both teams pretty high as well. And I know two people that are going to be very happy with that. Maybe their voices not as much, but we will be entertained for sure with Cap and AY.
Oh yes, I'm certainly looking forward to this game and this cast, which I'm going to be doing with AUI. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more knowledge than just they're not losing, they're going to be winning. I'm not quite sure what that means, but Aoi, maybe you have a way to be able to break that down.
The Jenkins statement?
Yeah.
I think he's making stuff up. No, I think it's because, I mean, they have the Meg PA, right? Typically, like, you don't beat that combo late game.
Yeah.
I think LGD, they're already sort of like an atypical Chinese team. Like, if you look at all 4 Chinese teams at this event, I think LGD are the most special. They have a little bit of the Wings magic, I feel like, when I walk the games. They'll pick stuff like TA, Drow, Slaughter Cores. Very non-Chinese style. Usually Chinese Droughts are robust, team fight, can always win a game. LGD make crazy moves and they run at you.
A very high risk, high reward sort of situations, which is a little bit more focused on faster pace, let's say.
Very, very execution based. Like I think, as an example, like I think Team Liquid plays a lot of very high execution lineups, which is why sometimes they're like sink or like they're very polar opposites in their performance. I think LGD has an element of that in them.
Blitz has often told me that the way Liquid approaches lineups is that we believe that we'll be able to play this lineup to like the highest degree.
It's a hard way to play Dota, to be honest.
And you're saying the Chinese style is sort of opposite of that, and that is something what I believe Kyle was kind of talking about whenever he played up against Chinese teams. It felt like they were always situated where they were waiting for you to make a mistake. They always had lineups that had a little bit of give and take. You know, they could take some abuse, but once you slipped up, that's when they would be able to punish you.
Yeah, I think in general, like, no matter how the game's going, the Chinese teams historically could always end up winning the game. You think of like these big like team fight OTs, just pristine team fighting skills.
Is that something that back when you were on Evil Geniuses, did you guys take a bit to that style? Because I do remember EG's style back then was very much having a lot of like that big high ground defense, that those big team fights that could always turn the game.
Honestly, I don't even remember. Like, I feel like I should, but like, I feel like the scene was so much less developed then. That's why we were able to win.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if we had the same depth of strategy.
The scene was less developed.
No, it's like Dota's gotten better and better each year. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, some of the plays these players make are absolutely mind-blowing.
Now, something that is going to be unique about LGD and unique across this tournament is that Nigma has been doing super well after day 2. They're top of the group stage right now, and they have been the only team so far to employ this off-lane DK, and that's something that PSG.LGD is going to be trying out here with Faith Beyond.
He's getting gone on though.
He is taking a lot of damage here. Something they got to be careful. This even though he didn't go Little Shredder, I imagine Little Shredder plus a PA is going to be a kind of a deadly laning phase combination.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty high armor, so that's probably why he didn't take Little Shredder. I think the QW, it gives you more options, not necessarily so the two of you can kill them, but when Pango wants to rotate, because I don't think he'll end up pressuring a Bloodseeker Enchantress lane.
Right.
When he wants to rotate, you have like more kill threat.
Also, Little Shredder being nerfed, I believe the last match, it seems like more people are trending away from that one. We had an interesting conversation during the draft about this Pango 4 position pickup, as do have a bit of trading going on back at bottom lane. It looks like they might be able to get the kill here. Shin Q is just setting up for a Splinter Blast. He knows he's dead. He's just trying to do as much damage before he falls. That's going to be first blood for Gabby. That's
a huge kill. And TNC, they've actually done... I mean, they've performed really well this tournament. They started the tournament 0-3. They picked up, they've gone 5-0. They have a lot of momentum. And in particular, they play their PA lanes really well. Like, they won with PA Magnus, which is completely unexpected to me.
Yeah. Okay, why is that unexpected to you?
Well, not in the game, but in the lane. I think Magnus is sort of seen as a like more greedy pick. You're not expecting to win the lane, but you know, you'll provide enough to the game with your Empower, faster farming PA, and high damage that's worth it. However, they got the best of both worlds. They just won the lane and they carried the game. They had like a 20-minute rampage on PA or something. Just stomped the life out of Liquid.
Yeah. Tim's being pressured right now by Y. He does manage to get the pull off nonetheless. I have to say, I was a little bit surprised how many people were doubting TNC, and that's purely because of the fact that I got to cast the game where it felt like they turned things around, which was the 1-1 against Vici Gaming. And in that game too, I could definitely see that they made adjustments and they turned, like, the way they started playing was different from going from game 1 to game 2. And all of a sudden, game 2 against VG Gaming, they looked fantastic. I was like, oh, this squad is really good. It's funny how these group stages happen, because sometimes if you don't see that like one game where a team turns around, your idea of what they are may not be correct.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even anyone who watched their second game versus EG, like they lost that game, but they looked really good in that game. A lot of the predictions coming to this tournament were, 1 second, they're going on bottom.
Gabby is
they're so aggro. I love it.
So much damage. Yeah. He's like, nah, I'm gonna turn around in this Winter Wyvern now.
It's a good trade, right? Wyvern used all his spells. It's just very its risk was very calculated.
Yeah.
I think a lot of predictions about TNC were coming in with like zero information before they played any games. They looked a bit shaky their first game versus EG, but that second game they should have won. Like RTZ just played really well that game, but TNC, they've stepped it up even more since then, and
yeah,
they're looking like one of the best teams to make it out top 2 in the group with their schedule.
Yeah, and this is probably the toughest opponent that they have left, right?
Yeah, I think so. Of like the top 5 teams, I think they've played all of them except for LGD right now.
Right.
And I'd like to see the Pangler make a rotation around the 5-minute catapults this game. Okay. I think they have some pretty good timings on TNC. I think they're not afraid of TPing in additional heroes to use it. When I think of TNC, I think of a team that's hyper aggressive, and they want to play like that. Like, I know they could play this lineup defensive, you know, you have Meg, PA try to hold down the fort.
Yeah, sit on the triangle for 20 minutes and wait for PA to win.
Like, I think EG would win the game like that.
Sure.
But I don't think TNC should try to emulate that. They should beat themselves because, I mean, why wouldn't you? They're 5-0 in their last games, and every game has been super aggressive. Like, this PA, he's probably going to go... He has Tread's Mask Commander's queued up. That's super cool. I thought he was going to go for an Echo Saber, but I am also really down for something like that, like a Mask Commander's small fighting item type.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an interesting idea. We did watch Tim's fall there as the Pango up against Y. And the Enchantress with the Help Air. Nothing major really coming out of that. You can see a nice aggressive
Honestly, I think they're okay with what they got on top. I mean, LGD are winning the lane really hard, but as long as you don't feed and you get some levels, I think this is like sort of expected.
Big rotation from nothing to say. He's gotten on top of Gabby. He's gonna try. He doesn't have a jump actually. He's just dead. He jukes as long as he can inside of the trees, but with just a really good rotation from this Death Prophet, they kill the carry of TNC and are setting up to be able to take this tower. And that's why Armel is already rotating in. He wants to make sure this doesn't actually happen. He's going to try and clear out the creep wave as best as possible. Though LGD not wants to back down from this fight, it seems. They're going to now force out the coil from Armel just to be able to save himself. They need more TNC members, though. They're actually going to hop in on Boomy. He's really going to try and do this one. Gabby's now here. He's going to jump onto Faith Beyond. He's so tanky as a Dragon Knight that he may eventually go down, but it's going to cost TNC a lot. In fact, Faith Beyond doesn't even die. Gabby's now going to find a way out of here. Armel jumps to his orb to be able to stop the healing sound of Faith Beyond, but he's already healthy enough, and Gabby is just going to die a second time. Double kill for Innocence, and Armel may have stopped this push onto the tower and may be able to get the deny, but it was a terrible, terrible trade for them.
Just beautiful execution from LGD. I think in that fight, like they managed to rotate the DP for the kill, but their communication's really good because Enchantress is able to follow it up. You saw that Wildkin, that completely changes the dynamic of that fight. Moreover, like, I think we're sort of seeing that TNC, their lanes are a little bit shaky. I think they would have wanted to sort of make the first move. You saw like the difference, like the puck coil was defensive, whereas DP was able to use the aggressive exorcism, and as a result, like this map is looking really good for LGD.
Do you think part of that is this Magnus plus Pango off lane?
That's
right?
A really greedy lane, yeah.
Yeah, neither one of those heroes is going to do anything for you pre-level 6.
Yeah, I was actually hoping for like some crazy move where like you coil the guy mid and you have both supports there and you TP a Magnus in or something.
Yeah,
you know, skewer him to break the coil. Like I think that's a move that they sort of had to make, but it's really hard to coordinate to grow, right? And nothing to say, like he's been playing fantastic this tournament. He actually reads it and he makes a move first.
Yeah, he really has. Armel unable to grab what is a double damage rune. Goes to nothing to say and his bottle. Meanwhile, Ame is just kind of chilling out here in the top lane. 4,000 net worth lead for him. He didn't even bother to rotate to that bottom lane fight, which I thought was kind of interesting. Maybe he was just so confident that his team was going to win it. I normally imagine Bloodseekers joining engagements like that, but he has just been very focused on continuing to stay top of the net worth board.
I think he would have TP'd if the fight went a bit towards his tower, but you have to be really careful with those TPs just because Magnus's game was so bad, you don't want to get him back into the game. By staying top, he's actually doing a lull for his team because Magnus doesn't get a game to play. And Exo's already up. They're Exoing mid. They don't have the DK for him, but there's just so much pressure from LGD, and Ame, he's farming up a storm.
Beyond even just sitting here, Armel, they're going to spot him out. Now Armel is going to be forced to jump into the silence, but he actually does use his silence to be able to get just out of range. Rupture damage is coming in. Armel is just on a sliver here. He's got another orb. He's going to be able to jump away. A beautiful RP from Boke is going to be able to skewer 2 heroes into the tier 2, but the problem is Cold Embrace stop much of the damage, and Tim's, who's still just a level 4 Pango, doesn't do a damn thing in this team fight. Another shockwave thrown out, which is going to completely whiff. LGD once again putting pressure on TNC, and TNC failing to have the kind of firepower to respond.
And just such a good, like, how LGD rotates their heroes is just so smart. They given this Bloodseeker a lot of space. He's gone to free farm. He has a little power spike. It doesn't even have to be something big because you're a carry role. All he has to do is come to his fight, rupture the puck, and push him off this tower. And just by nature of being there as a carry, he secures his team a tower, and it's like this huge swing.
Yeah, who else is gonna kill the creep wave on this lineup of TNC? No, like nobody really does that for you very well. Not under leveled, that is.
And I think the panel is mentioning, like, LGD know that TNC have this late game timing. And LGD, I mean, I think they've done the research into TNC. They know how TNC like to play, and they're like, how do you fight into a DK DP Bloodseeker core trio? Like that. They specific, like why I like LGD so much is their drafts seem very specifically tailored to their opponents. Like they don't have like this default that they over-index on. And I think it's like a very Xiao 8 thing. If the enemy picks Lone Druid, we don't need teamfight. We're gonna pick Slaughter, Drow, TA. It's very smart. I like how they draft.
So in that case, let's talk about what TNC should do. Like you say, you can't fight into them. Okay, so what does TNC do in response? If you were in their position, how would you approach the rest of this game?
So I think right now, it's very hard to move past the river. What they need to do is they need to overwhelm their opponent in some area. Maybe try to take control of the jungle, play on the vision. They're going to get gone on Gabby here, though.
Gabby, they spot him. Flats to the Rupture. Finally comes out as they manage to break that meld. Now, Gabby is going to be jumping over to this tier 2 area, and it looks like LGD are deeming that off bounds. They're not going to go that far to try and pursue. They just keep him out of his triangle. They block the ancient camp to make sure it doesn't respawn.
Yeah, I think their best chance, they have a good idea what to do in this game, right? 'Cause they place these 2 jungle... What happened? Sorry.
Sorry, when I said block, I meant body block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they place these 2 wards in their jungle. I think what they need to do is they need to try to get LGD to feel like they can overextend. Maybe they show a bit more top. LGD are like, okay, they're trying to flip the map. Let's go invade their jungle. You already have vision there. You take an overwhelming fight where you bring everyone to the fight and you hit some good spells. Like, that's the only way you can really come back against like a lineup that's ahead and wants to fight you.
Okay, so put like a PA out there and then surprise them with, oh, there's a puck mag behind it and we're going to get this good combo on you or something.
For example, Y walks into the jungle here. You can imagine maybe if they had a few more heroes there, like the PA Snapper already, you just instantly kill the Enchantress and then all of a sudden you have a disparity in resources on the map because you have 1 more hero alive. Then you can start running at them. Maybe think about like snowballing off for kill, taking territory and getting some deep wards. Right now it's like they're a bit split. I don't think they're feeling desperate yet, so this is why they're not doing what I'm saying. Like it's not like what I'm saying is absolutely correct. It's just like my read on the game. But maybe they just wait for a timing before doing it. He almost has an Echo Saber on PA.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things they were missing previously was level 6 on the Pango. Like, that support doesn't do anything for you until he has his ultimate. So he's got that now. He's got the Orb of Corrosion as well. Maybe they're going to wait for, like, Blink Dagger on the Mag. What is Boat going for? I kind of assume that he needs an early blink with a puck, but no, he's actually going to sustain items with the Mag. They're going to try and catch him out here, but very smart TP by him. Oh, actually, he Winter's Curse a creep, which was barely in range of the Mag to Xin-Q. You goddamn genius.
That was amazing. That was such a good play from Xin-Q. I was just about to say, this Magnus just made the play of the game. He got his team back into it because they wasted Exo, they wasted DK for him. But Xin-Q, he just completely changes the state of the game with
magic damage coming in over the Cold Embrace. See if they can burst down this Dragon Knight, and they will. Now they have the Rolling Boulder that's going to be chasing after Nothing to Say. He swiftly does dodge it. Does manage to put a little bit of drain onto Armel. The Cookie actually goes down, gets him out of the drain. Gabby, meanwhile, is unsure if he can commit. Throws out a bit of daggers. Nothing major. TNC probably feeling okay. Just okay, right? We got a good core pickup. Let's not throw this away too much.
TNC, their read of the game there is really cool because even though LGD killed their offlaner, they committed a lot of resources to do that. They use a curse, they use Exo, they actually use 3 ultimates. They knew that they could defend this tower simply because their 3 heroes have so much magical damage between the mid hero and the 2 supports. It's good punish onto the DK there.
Yeah. No, they certainly are.
Well, I am a bit surprised that Faith Beyond isn't buying any like a cloak, even just a casual cloak this game. It seems like TNC's read on the game is we're gonna burst heroes like defensively in order to get back into this game.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. If the Wyvern can't really initiate and there's enough mobility that Rupture doesn't like absolutely hold a person in place, and they do kind of need that initiation. But yeah, like a Hood, just a straight up Hood of Defiance would make him, I think, near invulnerable in these team fights.
I mean, I think the Blink is good. He needs to be that frontline initiator for his team, but he's actually going for a Howard after, which is good this game. I mean, you're against Meg PA. Stopping physical damage is going to be really good. But yeah, I would have liked to see just a casual cloak. I think it's an underrated item right now. And look at Xin-Q. He's just straight going for the Orchid. That's a cool build. Very strong.
something that I feel like that's been flavor since Ice 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 was experimenting off lane Winter Wyvern, and he was going like, I think Orchid was his preferred build at that time, and ever since then it seems like these 4-position Wyverns every once in a while we'll see an Orchid from them, since it does pair up so nicely with Winter's Curse. Pretty much you Winter Curse somebody, you put it on them, the duration is about the same, and it's just going to be resulting in a ton of damage.
It's actually a really good defensive item in a lot of ways too, because if you look at Winter Wyvern's game, the game for Winter Wyvern this game, it looks like Puck wants to jump him, but if you have an Orchid, he can't really do that because of the threat of the item.
Yeah, that's true. Same kind of goes with Pango, right? He wants to be able to like swashbuckle you and then roll up.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, the same thing there. The silence on those two very mobile heroes that are typically like support assassins. That's sort of their job.
A lot of your job as a support in Dota is not to necessarily live, but to make the enemy, of course, overcommit.
Okay, they had the vision here. They just straight up go, but look at Fabian. He managed to get the stun out. That allows the Winter Curse to be able to go down, keeping Jinq alive. The shots, oh man, he managed to just dodge so much. Ultimately, Swashbuckle finished him off. Still though, Boka's going to be falling here, and Boomy actually gets swallowed up by Ame, who's running around like a madman right now. He has built up some serious speed, though as people start dying, the speed eventually does wear out. Still though, great team fight for LGD, and that's all off of the fact that Faith Beyond's quick reaction with the Blink Dagger stopped the skewer back.
Yeah, then that was really close. I think it was just unfortunate. Like TNC saw the opportunity, they almost came back into the game there, but Armao actually didn't have a TP. So a little bit low to comms. A good reinitiation though. Yeah,
and managed to find the Dragon Knight once again. Faith Beyond overestimating his tankiness against this magic damage.
He's just not tanky with this Belt of Giant Strength compared to a Cloak.
Yeah. Invisibility. He's got a Quelling Blade.
He does.
I sell the Quelling Blade. Just buy a base Cloak for me, please.
I feel like he might go back for a Cloak, but honestly, like I don't want to harp on it too much. He clearly has some idea with it. Sange is clearly one of the best items of the patch, so it's hard, that's hard to say. And I mean, he did just save that last team fight. What can we say?
Oh, look at this. TNC are really going to try for an early Roshan because they have Pango, one of the best heroes against Roshan, being able to provide that disarm, and then they've also got a PA who can sneak into the Roshan pit with them.
Did they have the corrosion?
Man, they got this
is clever.
They know this is happening. Even though they didn't have vision, they knew this was going on. And while he's silenced up, this PA still can't get out of the pit. He's looking to be able to blink away, but Roshan bashed him for a second there. PSG.LGD, though, weren't quite ready to engage, especially since they don't have Exorcism. That's up now. Dragon Form coming up in a few more seconds, and then LGD will be back to full fighting shape.
I can't believe LGD read that. Like, it was just such a weird auto-place move.
Yeah.
Like, you just lost a team fight, and you're like, your support and your offlaner start hitting Roshan, and PA joins in later. But LGD, they just knew right away.
Yeah, LGD, excuse me. Yeah. Can we see LGD's vision again? It's just this bottom lane, these two very aggressive wards. They saw nothing there. They could have just all been triangle. They could have been maybe playing closer to the top lane farm, but no, they just made the read. Okay, we gotta beware. They can Roshan with this lineup. Boomy is gonna be breaking the smoke here from LGD. They managed to get the stun there. Rolling Thunder is gonna come out though. It's a couple of heroes, but I don't think they want to fight into this exorcism. Maybe they do. Armel's actually gunning for it. He's gonna go straight for the Dragon Knight. The magic damage isn't quite enough, but now they have the Mortar Skizz raiding in as well. The Winter's Curse is going to be able to grab the mag and pull him over as the Pango is about to finish off the Wyvern. They do manage to get him with the kisses. Why? He's going to be coming up next as Gabby's gunning for him. Nothing to say. The RP pulls him and Ame together. They're putting out some good cleave damage, but it's not quite enough. The Bloodseeker's fighting through it all. He gets another kill. He keeps on healing himself. Nothing to say with the Exorcism still out as well. TNC were so close to wiping LGD, but Ame was just a bit too strong.
That was really close. I think he had like a couple hundred HP on Bloodseeker. LGD, they smoked in there with 4. I think Ame was coming to join the fight late, and the RP barely clipped him. It was just, oh man, one crit and the game changes there, I think.
Yeah, seriously.
And TNC, they have a good idea though. Like, the enemy's coming to your triangle, you're down a lot of gold, but they know they have to stand their ground there. They use 2 buybacks, and that, like, if they win that fight, that's your way back into the game. I like how they're not trying to, like, oh, you know, we have the late game, we're gonna split push the side lanes, be scared of our opponent, trying to dodge them, because that won't work for LGD. There's no way, not versus these heroes. They have DK Blink, they have Wyvern Catch, even some Bloodseeker. Instead, like, they're taking fights, they're trying to outnumber them with buybacks.
So it's okay if they have less map control than LGD, but they cannot forfeit their triangle. That's like the one fortress that you must hold down.
For sure. I mean, if the enemy's running in, not bringing everyone, or you think you have like even a hint of a good fight, like you should take a risk, seize the opportunity. You're behind. And TNC, I like what they're doing. You know, they went for that Roshan. They tried to hold their high ground. They're taking risks to try to come back in this game, and that's a mark of a good team.
Yeah. They see double damage. Everyone's going to be fighting over that one. Armel's going to be grabbing him, but he already got stunned up, and now he's going to be silenced up as well. Oh, this puck is in trouble. The Rolling Thunder tries to be able to intercept, but Armel ultimately does die. Now it's Ame. Oh, they managed to get the Winter's Curse on the Rolling Boulder with the P8 right next to him, so they're both very likely to fall here. Sure enough, they do, and that low health allows Ame to be able to chase down Boomy. Gets that extra +1 kill. 4 down on the side of TNC, just outside of the Roshan pit.
Jinkyu is just playing these fights like a monster. Perfect silence. He gets a save off with his Enchantress. You know, sometimes you're scared to save her. She's getting rolled on. Saves her. He gets a perfect curse. He's making Wyvern look like a tier 1 hero.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's very rare to see Wyvern before this tournament. I felt like it was only popping up every once in a while in the DPC matches. Sometimes it'd be 5, occasionally 4, but you're right. Jinkyu is making a good argument that this is a top-tier support hero.
He's higher farmed than the enemy offlaner. I feel like after this game, I mean, I'm not going to execute as well, but when I see a Magnus, I just want to pick this hero and try to play like Jinkyu does.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Crazy stuff. Look at him. He's even going for the Witchblade now, so just even more damage that he can throw out during a Winter's Curse combo. Like, this is very rapidly going to turn into...
He's going for a Shadow Blade.
Oh, is he? Oh,
he's going for a Shadow Blade.
I had my phone over and I just saw the
because even so
knuckles.
unexpected.
That's crazy.
The idea is super cool, though, because as we were mentioning earlier, Radiant's game plan on TNC is just to find this Wyvern and kill him. You cannot let him get saves off. You cannot let him get curse off versus a Mag PA lineup. If you have a Shadow Blade, all of a sudden, like, I mean, he won't be found. It's just impossible.
Yeah. Kaya for the Death Prophet now.
Man, this Bloodseeker, he only has like... When you think of Bloodseeker, you don't really think of these hard carry heroes.
Yep.
But I think he's shown in these fights, like, he will hard carry the fight, and he's itemizing for that. He's got Maelstrom, SOI Satanic, the classic, like, I will 1v5 this game build. And it's paying dividends. He has his Aegis. I don't know how they're supposed to kill him twice at this point. I think right now, TNC need to look. Like, I didn't want them to split push the side lanes before because they're only a little bit behind. They could still fight with buybacks. At this point, I think you have to force out a bad TP from LGD or get a fight into your tier 4s in order to win this game.
And sadly, they're going to have to do that without Gabby, as he does get fully rotated on by LGD. TNC is beginning to go for that sort of desperate split push style where you know you're down and you're down bad.
Yeah, and it's hard. The LGD heroes, they don't seem like they're that good at catching, like maybe the DK, but just by the nature of how they get to push waves with like their supports on Wyvern and Ench, it's really easy to catch people. And look at top
lane. He got the Pango, managed to get him with the Orchid. They're going for him. Tim's, he's going to be able to back out with just a swashbuckle, but he is going to have to run away scared.
4 creeps on the Pango, and he did 1200 damage in his ulti. That's terrifying. Like when he has his Shadow Blade, I can understand the Shadow Blade. He's getting Shadow Blade because he understands that TNC can no longer fight him. So the best way to catch people is just to get a Shadow Blade and walk around the map invis so you can set up curses.
Yeah, they can't split push.
That's really smart, actually.
Yeah, just run around.
Jinkyu is wrinkly big brain.
LGD, man, they have been a pleasure to watch. I've only been able to watch maybe about half of the DPC Chinese games, but
they're playing really well.
Yeah. I've always been surprised to see, like, why is LGD not at the top of the board?
Yeah, same actually, especially with Xiaolei coaching them. He's just such a world-class coach. And Faith Beyond, he actually goes back for the hood. I like that. Like, you can actually frontline a bit more. I think at some point in this game, he realized, like, if I frontline, apparently my 4 position is going to kill everyone. So you don't need to do anything. Even Y, he's been dishing out some damage. He went for a very aggressive build. He only took 2 into enchant and he maxed out his impetus.
No, I've noticed this about Nigma employ this as well when they do the offlane DK. They have 2 supports that output a lot of damage, because that is the thing about DK is that even as a mid laner, he doesn't do that much. As an offlaner, he's just really not going to give you that much damage, but he does give you excellent frontline and excellent single target initiation. Boomy is going to be target here, but no.
Yeah, I really like what you said there, because DK as a hero, if you look at him, he has a lot of strength. Oh, TNC, they're trying to seize bottom. They showed a lot of heroes from LGD top.
They're doing that thing where they're moving around the map very quickly to try and catch LGD off kilter somewhere, but LGD is wise to it. They back up, and if the TNC's not careful, they're going to get caught here. Nothing to say, was hiding in the trees. Now Faith Beyond is back into it, a silence into a stun, and there goes Armel. The rest of TNC has to give up any pretense of a team fight without their mid laner, but they're ruptured up on Gabby. He has to go for a TP out, and he stuns. Dragon Tail's not quite there, and it looks like Boke, okay, they're going to chase him all the way down to the tier 3 here. The Pango's coming in. Can he Rolling Thunder stop some of this? They do give the cookie away to Boke, and he managed to skewer himself away to safety. Now, nothing to say. Awkward position, but he managed to juke the stun there. Oh, and Tims runs into the side of the wall there. He won't be able to pursue after the Death Prophet now that they're outside of the base. TNC not so sure they can take a team fight anymore. They're going to have to wait for Armel, it looks like. Never mind, skewer back into the cookie chain stun. Beautiful combo. TNC get the first life of the Bloodseeker and then back up. They're not going to trade anything for that just yet. Puck is almost here. Armel, 3 seconds. If they can slow down these heroes, maybe they can get a good coil and still force a good team fight here. Faith Beyond threatening to go back in there for a moment. He's got the Evans Halberd, so he is very tanky. LGD making sure that TNC doesn't feel super comfortable trying to chase them, but I think TNC realizes this is an opportunity they have to be able to seize. Armel jumping forward. He's got to be careful of that Orchid, though. He's been caught out by it once before. TP away from Boomy, and it looks like PSG.LGD managed to hold themselves in a tight enough structure that TNC finds zero weakness to exploit.
I love watching these high-skill teams team fight. It's just such a dance, you know. They're sort of coming in, they don't want to overextend, and they're dancing in, dancing out, and you know, the moment someone steps out of position, everyone's gonna jump on them and punish them. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Radiant are set.
Shiva's almost done for nothing to say, so more frontline and more tank from the Death Prophet.
They do have the blink RP on Magnus now. I think we saw that in the skewer last fight, but I think it's so hard to push forward on the map as TNC. I think they might be stuck at this point to hoping LGD mess up, and
this is that combo, that single target combo. Winter Wyvern, no longer just a defensive reactive support. The way Jinkyu has built it, he is now an active hunter in the game.
This Wyvern build is just, it's stopping TNC's ability to come back into this game. Because usually when you're behind, what you want to do is you want to play side lanes. You push out your side lanes, force the enemy team to mess up, maybe use a TP, react to you, and then collapse on them somewhere else. However, you can't push side lanes if it's an enemy 4 killing you. Like, they're not even bringing their big heroes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, nothing to say has bots. If this Wyvern catches a core, like, they will bot in and they will kill that guy.
As a result, LGD sitting on a 14,000 net worth lead. TNC still does have the comeback potential just because it's PA Magnus. They've got a lot of team fight. They've got the big late game hero, but it is a dark and dreary game for them indeed. And
he has his BKB and PA now. That is one comeback potential. If they can get a really good RP, like, you can always win with this combo. I don't care how much gold you're down.
Yeah, especially with coil as well, right?
Yeah,
RP, coil on top, skewer them out of the coil to snap it, do even more damage, more stun time.
And Pango actually has his blink too, if he wants to buy it here. That's another, like, for Magnus to get a good RP, they need someone to go in. I think that's a lot of why they picked the Pangolier. He can roll in. He doesn't even have to hit a lot of heroes, but the chaos he creates will cause Magnus to get a good RP.
He's just kind of like, look at me, and then all of a sudden Mag is like, I found my opening.
Man. You see Faith Beyond, I love his idea for this game. He's going for a Force Staff because he understands that even though he's the offlaner, he's just for utility. Jinkyu with the Shadow Blade bottom though.
Jinkyu's hunting. He's going to find Gabby. Spots him out. Winter's Curse and Orchid immediately. They do have the Bloodseekers coming in, but there's other heroes of TNC here as well. Gabby actually going to use his BKB and he completes the TP. That was actually very disciplined of him. You see a 2-man RP like that, I thought for a second he was going to cancel the TP and try and fight, but that would have ultimately been a disaster. TNC used the opportunity to just get a clean escape.
Yeah, that was 100% the correct choice to TP out there. I think if he stays, he dies for sure, they lose the game. Just good decision making from them. Honestly, even the RP, like, it looks weird, but you have to make sure your PA doesn't die and you don't get over, I mean, you'll just straight up lose the game if you lose heroes there.
Yeah, absolutely. In that short of time, snap judgment, but wasn't a bad call from Boke whatsoever. And Armel, catching him with the blink Dragon Tail stun. Dragon Knight's just so good against Puck.
This Bloodseeker hits so hard. He even has like the armor talent. He didn't take the Blood Rage attack speed.
Oh, really?
Which I think is correct. I mean, you're against Meg PA.
Yeah.
Man, that puck died fast.
All right. Well, 45 seconds for Armel. Without the puck, kind of feels like this is going to be one lane of barracks at least. But TNC are still going to poke at LGD, trying to keep them honest here. Maybe even slow them down enough that they can't go for a second lane of barracks. Actually, backdoor protection came up for a second there. It's too bad they didn't push out mid lane a bit faster.
It's so weird. I think Radiant mid lane is the furthest backdoor protection of all the lanes in Dota. If the creep hits the tier 2, it actually cancels backdoor protection.
Yeah.
So that's just unfortunate for them there.
That's yeah, that is a very deep line. I normally think about it being where the emblem is.
Yeah, no, you think about it like it should be like when the creeps hit the tier 3 or something.
Yeah.
Or like 600 range from it. It's like 1200 range at mid or even more.
Oh, that's interesting.
Man, LGD, they really just did their homework on TNC. I think how they drafted, how they structured their draft, like they knew that they don't have to necessarily out-carry them late game. They just have to sustain the aggression from TNC, put them off their game a bit.
I'm sorry, did I just see an Aether Lens on Dragonite? Was that the hero I just saw that on? All right.
You did.
Damn. That is cool. Boomy in the pit here, gonna cookie himself out. PSG.LGD are certainly gonna. Oh, what an RP with the coil combo! They're gonna be able to skewer snap a bunch of heroes. Ame's a little bit low. Gabby's gonna be able to jump onto him. Can they finally get the kill on the carry of LGD? He actually hits the hard camp to be able to heal himself off of the Satanic and the heal, but it's not enough. Gabby is too big. He actually managed to win that man fight. Down for 80 seconds. LGD is still pursuing though with nothing to say, but without the exorcism, he doesn't do that much damage. They're gonna go for a TP out, but Bob comes right back with a skewer, gives up his life to be able to stop that TP away from nothing to say. They're just bit by bit poking at these two heroes. Gabby now making the commitment here, wants to be able to make sure he doesn't die to nothing to say, but he's got the talent. He's throwing out Crypt Swarm after Crypt Swarm and does manage to kill the carry of TNC. Still trying to get away here. TNC chasing after him. He's out of mana now. They know he's got no more offensive spells, so they're just going to stick onto him as best as possible. And I think they've got him here. Unless the Witch Wyvern JQ. They've got to kill him fast. Otherwise, the Winter Scourge is going to be coming in. It goes out, but the Death Prophet's already dead. Armel has slid away. As a result, it looks like Tim's, he may end up dying here, burning out from the Arctic Burn. He does fall. Armel chasing after Jin Q, though, has him low enough. Almost finished him off, but the Cold Embrace is going to keep him alive. Armel out of spells. He's got a silence up, but he doesn't have the distance right now. Boomy looking to approach. They get the silence. Oh, but he turns around and kills him, dropping the gem. As a result, Jin Q trades himself for Armel. Boomy's on the hump for the gem and a TP away, but he doesn't have TP. He's going to have to just run his way back. It's a 5-on-5 battle right now for the gem. Let's see if Innocence, he drops a ward just to be able to spot him, but Boomy in turn denies the ward. He takes away the Ghost Scepter with the enchant, dispels him. The Winter Wyvern's coming over with the courier to be able to spot him out. Instantly picks up the gem to make sure there's no enemy courier shenanigans and flies away with it. Drops the gem to make sure they can kill the ward on the high ground. That was that was probably one of my favorite one-on-ones I've ever seen, and it was a 5-on-5 battle. That was honestly hilarious. And TNC, they're showing their merit in this game. Like, how they took that fight was insane. They're down 15k gold. I thought they won the game there for a second. Like, Roshan was respawning. I gotta say, like, props to Nothing for how he played that team fight. You know, he held his BKB for literally like 50 seconds that fight. Wow. It's just such patience, and he got it off. Just because he had that BKB, I think he was able to finish off Gabby. He doesn't do that. I think this game's actually really scary for LGD. Okay, explain this Aether Lens. Is it really just Dragon Tail range? There used to be a guy in NA who would go Radiance Octarine Core on Dragonite. Okay. And you would have like 100% uptime on your ultimate. It was terrible. but I think it's sort of cool in the idea that he has for the game. Like it fits the theme where he just wants to be utility. I don't know if it's correct, but you know, I'm sort of curious about why he's doing it. He probably has some idea, right? Okay. Faithbjorn's a cool guy. So Aether Lens on melee form Dragon Tail is actually going to make it somewhat ranged, right? Yeah. So it triples the range. It is an instant cast still, right? Melee Dragon form is instant cast. So he will be able to instantly cast it to stun at like 400 range or something. That's actually really cool versus Puck specifically, right? Because oftentimes you see the range stun come out and Puck phase shifts it.
I think approaching what pros do from a point of curiosity like that, where you're like, okay, let me try to figure out why they're doing it, is a really cool way to learn about Dota. Because, man, what you said is so smart. Actually, I'm thinking about it. That's pretty good.
Wonder if we're actually going to be able to see that in action, or if we're just going to be seeing really long
he's going back for the
dragon form,
AC.
dragon tails.
I think he went for this Aether Lens, and like the idea is cool. And at the same time, like I bet he wishes he was just a bit more tanky that last fight.
Sure. And maybe even just having like, yeah, I guess armor is more important than BKB right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing about BKB on an offline Dragonet is you sort of want them to cast some spells on you. You sort of want to soak up that damage. I'm not saying BKB is bad necessarily, but in this specific game, I think he's decided he has so many damage sources that he wants them to target him.
Lincoln's picked up for the puck. So he's going to try and put an end to that Dragon Tail reign of madness.
He does have Halberd though, so with the Aether Lens, you can instant Halberd, instant stun.
Yeah, we'll see how quick he is on the fingers. Winter's Curse actually put him onto the creep there. That's not what he wanted. And JinQ, he'll pay for that mistake. Nothing to say. Gonna go for the kill on Boke. Won't be able to get it fast enough. He TPs away. Armel orbing out as well. Faith Beyond won't be able to pursue. They won't catch Gabby. That could have been very scary, but JinQ missing on the Winter's Curse. Winter's Curse, since that change, is that heroes only or literally no other unit inside?
It's any other unit, even a neutral creep can proc it.
Okay.
So you know the combo is you Winter's Curse and you dig up a kobold with your shovel. It extends the duration. Oh, Dota Cinema highlights. Oh, that's good stuff right there.
What? I thought you were just, I thought I was gonna blow my mind.
Nah,
with something crazy.
this is the stuff I think about. And a rare mistake for JinQ. Actually, something that's cool this game is that he has a Witch's Blade versus PA with BKB.
Yeah.
If you hit a BKB unit with Witch's Blade and it doesn't proc, you continue to have the True Strike. So if PA BKBs and you hit him, you will always have True Strike on him until your Witch Blade procs. Yeah.
That is fascinating. Rupture being used on Boke right now. Ame is sitting on him and looks to be able to kill him while he's still silenced out. Now they're going to chase after Boomy. Tim's probably wants to just roll back to safety. Oh, he got clipped on the wall. Uh-oh. He's going to go ahead and pop his shard here to try and blink away, and he does. Nicely played. But still, losing their magnets is a big part of their combo.
That was super. Did Ame not want to hit him there? Like, you can still hit him when he's rolled up, right?
Yeah, you can hit him. And he could have stopped the Blink Dagger, but he would have rolled deeper into the phase. So I think he just didn't think about the Blink.
Yeah.
Honest. But jump in. Oh, Cookie's actually going to be able to get a two-man stun. Ame's a little bit of trouble. Oh, the dagger did 1,400 damage. They're going to be able to finish him off. That's the first life without Gabby having to commit. As long as Armel can get away here, this is a pretty good trade-off. Gabby's now going to commit using the BKB, but he went for the Enchantress. The Enchantress has the level 20 talent. She's so hard to bring down. Oh, no. TNC. Can Armel get out? No. Swept up by the Dragon Flames and the Crib Swarm at the same time. They buy back on Tim's for this one, but Tim's Rolling Thunder now up. Let's see if he can cause a little chaos with Boke about to come up as well. And yeah, LGD thinking about retreating. A 4-on-4 is not what they want to take.
You know what's so weird about this game is that LGD are up 23k gold, but I'm actually really worried for them.
Yeah.
I clicked on PA. When this Rapier comes out, like, she did that Bloodseeker died in an instant there to a dagger and like basically nothing, just some puck spells.
Is it just me, or I feel like LGD was winning this game without Ame, and I haven't seen Ame do very much. Like, yeah, maybe he cleaned up certain fights, but like other than that, fights that they were already winning, he helped them win. But I haven't seen anything very impactful out of him.
Yeah, I think Ame in general, he's a very clean up the fight to carry the game player, which isn't inherently bad. But I agree. I think maybe a little bit of his itemization feels a bit weird to me. Like, I don't think he should have finished his Mjolnir this game, as opposed to something that helps him 1v5 a bit more. Like, they weren't low on damage, as you can see from JinQ just dominating.
Oh, tempted to go for the Shockwave Skewer back. Nothing to say, it was a little bit too fast, though. And they are beginning to hit this tier 3 tower. A dangerous combination. Cold Embrace put onto the Death Prophet as the Ghosts are out. Backdoor protection up for a second here.
He does have that skewer cooldown, so it's up again.
Yeah, they can go for it again, especially it's nothing safe. Starts getting low. Oh, but he popped the cheese just beforehand. He heals up. He still got the exorcism going, and they have the Magnus currently orchid it up. Tim's, though, causing a little bit of havoc in the back line as he managed to do a nice rolling thunder through most of everybody. Nothing to say. Finally popping his BKB, chasing after Gabby. Really wants to be able to get this kill. Gabby is actually turning around on him with the satanic heals up just a little bit. And the rest of the team managed to take the mid lane of Barracks. Now LGD looks to be able to get away. Not cleanly, though. They're going to have to leave Innocence behind. Why? Falls. 80 seconds for him. They're going to chase after nothing to say. They don't. No exorcism. No cheese. They're feeling it right now. They do Dragon Tail sub, but it bounces back off the Lotus Orb, and they manage to get him out of sight. Like Gabby don't take him so much damage. Ame actually wins in a 1v1. He takes him down. Now going to go for Armel as well. Armel managed to phase shift Dual Scepter a little bit more. Can he kill Jin Q? He's going to be able to jump away to his orb. Gabby's back with a secondary life here, but Ame is seriously cleaning up this team fight. Gets the silence, gets the stun from Phase Beyond, chasing down more heroes. Armel, he's a liability at this point with how low he is. Poke actually all the way underneath the tower. That's where he managed to get that kill. Ame gets the ultra kill and looks for Gabby, who's hiding away in the trees, and said, please, not me, not me. More buybacks coming in. They're going to use Bulk to try and skewer him back to the fountain here, but this double damage, Bloodseeker will not quit. Rampage for Ame, as now he's going for the Megas, and TNC are left with just 2 members to try and defend. It's Armel and it's Gabby, and it's time for them to go. If they want to stop Megas, they have to go soon. A little bit of a poke from Armel. Looks like they're going to have to go for Megas, but Fate Beyond, he's going to force the action first. Managed to get the silence, trying to prevent him from being able to jump back to the fountain, but because of the satanic dispelling off the silence, he does get back to safety. Now jumping in. Oh, he broke it, kills the Bloodseeker. He died just like that. It's gonna be Megas, but TNC are showing they can still hold. Now going for Phase Beyond. Gabby looking for more of those crits, but it's nothing to say who's a problem for him. They're focusing on the tanky Dragon. Okay, a crit finishes them off, gives a little bit of bumper to Gabby in heals. They go for another break. Nothing to say. Has the disc though, so they're gonna have to back away. The silence onto Gabby. He has to turn and fight. He has to heal up as much as possible. Cookie, a little bit of distance. He heals up more, but he's psyched up. Damage coming out from the exorcism. Not quite enough. He jumps to the creeps, heals more and more. A dagger comes out, but it's not enough. Why? Finally gets the shot that puts him in the dirt. 2 minutes for him. Armel looking to be able to kill the Death Prophet here. Boomy sees he's low. He's going to give him the assist, but nothing to say. Is just too damn good. He's too damn fast, and he puts out too much damage. TNC are all going to fall and drop the GG as LGD will finally clean up this game.
Wow, what a fight. I think nothing to say in particular in this game. He's really proven what a top tier player he is. I think he's the highest MMR in the world right now, and he's really showing it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what a performance by him. So many
all the players.
Yeah.
We heard our commentators like nothing to say. Obviously had a fantastic game. Ame ending with the rampage there as well. Zinq and his Winter Wyvern, this fight in particular, getting the silence off, getting the curse off at the right time as well. I mean, this is. I feel like this fight was made by Zinq.
Well, this is the 20-minute fight I was talking about. It's the fact they are playing in the river. They're playing on like multiple different high grounds, and TNC basically enter the arena, which is the river, and they get all kind of put in the middle.
Yeah.
And PSG are basically on all fronts, just covering each steps and just taking the fight. And their ability to kite out, it was exceptional. And it stems from the fact they have so much healing, so much tankiness. They are going for like cheap items to get themselves into these earlier fights.
Yeah, Aoi's really right about the fact that this game looks a lot like a dance.
Yeah.
Like, you have all of these there, race car, one of the only heroes that actually surpasses max move speed now, and you get a rampage.
Yep.
We zoomed in on that poor Magnus dying, giving away the rampage.
There was, I also one point, there was one fight started right north of the Roche pit, ended at the tier 2 Dire side.
Oh yeah,
top
that
lane.
was nuts.
That fight was a fight where I thought TNC, they are going to turn.
PSG, they see through that, they go for it, and they just end the game before it happens.
All right, I want to propose something to you guys, and I want you to genuinely tell me if there's a shit take, because
Fair.
I
I'm
just,
down.
I just want to know.
That's
just be
fair,
honest
okay.
with me,
Okay.
So, to me, I've seen in a lot of the they were before. Like, I noticed that there's a lot of fights. There's a lot of fights where the enemy team will have overcommitted. And then the team
the catapult wave away, he dies, but he takes away that tower pressure. Same kind of philosophy in theory, but kind of in more kind of a team fight scenario.
Yeah, it is a fun trend to see, because it means for us that we get more of those clutch fights with high execution, because it doesn't, yeah, like you said, the numbers don't matter to the way that the teams use their skills. And I am very excited to see what's going to happen in Game 2 as well, because this first game, PSG.LGD took it, but again, it was very close, I feel. Even though PSG.LGD had a gold lead the entire game, were knocking on the doors of the base of TNC very early on, I still felt the plan that TNC had could have worked, right? Even though it didn't end up working, it could have worked.
I guess the easiest way to try and summarize it was they had kind of one component too little of damage early on, where like these key fights, they had nice control, but it was like an empowered PA with Echo Saber being your kind of primary damage source. Sure, you had like a Puck Snapfire, but it wasn't like this overwhelming presence. And I think that's where PSG, they kind of doubled down with this kind of skirmishing style, because they could rip through this, and like even if they survived that one jump, that one core, that one monomer kisses, they should win the fight. And I think for TNC, they will identify this and go, okay, we need one more way just to kill a hero. And
Yeah.
then like, this game would be completely different in my opinion. Like MagPA would have outscaled them if they had one more kind of fighting capacity.
Man, this DK plus Death Prophet combo to me is just looking better and better every time I see it. So you know, you have the obvious DK can like stand in front of a tower and you've like the double tower push, right? Both of these heroes push towers, but just this idea that like Death Prophet wants to take these like long engagements and just wants people to be stunned in front of her. And you know, DK has an offlane. Like, he's this pathetic hero. He's never gonna do any damage. You pick a DK, like if you pick a DK offlane, you have no damage on your team. You just instantly lose because you're never going to do damage.
Your 4 position has fun though.
Sure.
There it is.
Same
That's true.
thing though, right?
Oh no, it is.
But with the Death Prophet, you will never, ever lack damage as long as she has her ult up. Even the Spirit Siphons, if you can set up for those, it's good enough. So it's like, they synergize in terms of the fact that they both like the tower push, and DK can tank for the Death Prophet, but also in like this a little bit less obvious way of the DK can just keep persistently stunning for the Death Prophet. They both like to play these long fights.
I'm curious to see what we're going to get here in the second game, as we do have a draft coming your way any second now. We're going to have PSG.LGD on the Radiant side this time around. TNC will play from the Dire side. And in terms of changes, obviously you guys touched upon the fact that you want TNC to have one more hero that can push the envelope, that can actually fight so that they're not that far behind when their timing comes online, right? Will that show in their openings? Because previous game they opened with Snap Mag. We know that Mag is a flex pick for them, so feels like that is always a good option. Do already have the spoiler that they actually open up with an Ancient Apparition this time around, so to change it up a little bit.
I thought Puck was supposed to be that hero. It's just that Armel couldn't play Dota.
Well, he's playing into DK DP, right? Like if you think about middle encounters, it's one or the other. They have both. Like
It was a tough game, but I also think that LGD just, they caught him out so many times. Even Xinkyu sitting in the side lanes made it so that Armel couldn't push with the Boots of Travel like he normally does. Every single game, this guy goes Boots of Travel on Puck. This is not a game-by-game thing. He just has identified this is really strong.
Yeah.
And so with the Orchid, like Winter Wyvern, Shadowblade camping side lanes, it hard counters that sort of split-pushing style. You just can't do it. He couldn't get farm, couldn't get his Lincoln, so he just fed a bunch.
Well, PSG.LGD is a good team, so I think that's something, you know, these teams, we're expecting both of these teams to do very well. We got an open TA.
this is bold. So like going for second
like
pick TA. No, I don't mind it, but against a team like TNC, you're picking the second like TA +1, and you're giving an opportunity for one counter. We've seen Vipers, we've seen Razors being banned out with pick TA, you've seen Venomancer. Like this is TNC's position right now. You pick the hero to remove TA's lane. Like there is flexibility in TA, especially in like Americas, where you've seen it in safe lane, but realistically it's just mid. They go for the Razor.
Wow,
there we
okay.
go.
That's
There it is.
interesting. I mean, I personally feel like this is like the last counter that you usually go for against the TA when everything else is banned out. But I suppose like a lot of these heroes that are good against TA aren't really good against Phoenix. Like Viper, Venomancer, like these heroes, Batrider, like these heroes are garbage versus Phoenix. You're not gonna be able to movement TA, speed whereas Razor, in the entire you can just game run once you away get some from Boots of TA, Travel, which because of he course has they're going to do, fastest especially if this is an Armel Razor.
Most likely will be, considering their track record.
Especially if this is an Armel Razor.
Most likely you want it against a TA, right? Considering
Yeah.
their
That's
track
part
of the reason why
Yeah,
you
of course.
pick it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want it against a TA.
TNC Predators
with the Viper is that
turn to
they would literally use him as like a turret. You know, they would just use him as like the damage source, and then everybody else would stun around him, and he would go for this like Dragonlance Scotty. So even though it's in the off lane and it's weird, it seems like it was a free lane for Bach every single time, which I think is a place where he can struggle because you just push the wave. And then in the game, they would all use him as a beacon, which is something you probably want to ban out, but we'll see.
We will see indeed. Phantom Lancer removed, Faceless Void removed. I mean, there's actually so many carries. I say to take in the scraps, but that's still going to be pretty good.
I guess the thing for me is simply if TNC ban out another carry here and maybe ignore, let's say, Centaur. Centaur's a really good hero to pair with Phoenix, and against Razor with the Stampede, you then have that disconnect to prevent maybe the TA counter in the mid to late game. Of course, laning phase, Razor will still dominate. But yeah, it's interesting seeing that TNC are putting so much focus on just the carries alone.
I feel like Ursa, if you're LGD, is the fairly obvious ban against the Phoenix. You know, there's no Snapfire, so that's not going to come out and kill the egg, but neither of these two TNC heroes are that good against the egg. It is two ranged heroes, which is better than having two melee heroes or something like that, but neither of these heroes really want to get in there.
PSG.LGD, when they played a Templar Assassin, when they were playing up against Team Liquid the other day, they went for the full minus armor lineup.
Yeah.
And I think TNC is like, wait a second, let's not have that happen. They ban out the Slardar. We still have the Ursa removed as well, and the Axe coming out for Faith Beyond.
So there's a lot of heroes that do well against this Axon lane. You could go for, if you want to go real crazy in your TNC. I mean, they seem to be very open to picking these like off-laner carries. You'd go Veno carry, some Viper carry.
So I'm thinking more like a clock into a gyro type situation. You know, the gyro can eventually deal with the egg. You know, you can just flack off that and kill everything. The clock deals with the Axe in laning phase.
Run at the Axe. Yeah, so much damage from the gyro. Yeah, that definitely would be really nice.
Okay, they got Earth Spirit. The key thing here is, like, when I say clock or anything, they need to have a guy who goes into the fight. Like, they can't pick like a ranged 4, then a melee off lane, because then they're gonna have this double range setup with a Razor who's trying to beat TA. The key thing is when you pick in a counter to mid lane, you need to have that +1 from the supporting cast to come in and completely overwhelm that. Like, when you're in an advantageous position, dumpster that hero. Don't just let it be a 1v1. Make it a 2v1 after 4 or 5 minutes and crush that hero's spirits. And Earth Spirit, he is a hero that can apply pressure to mid just from playing in the fog, and PSG actually the ones that go for clockwork themselves.
I think the Earth Spirit also, like, whenever you pick the Sax hero, you know he's going to be rushing a Vanguard, you know he's going to be cutting the creep wave, and like that's how he's going to get super farmed in the game. So having a hero that can actually TP in and like kill him from trees, if you pick some like, I don't know, Dark Willow or some range support like you're saying, it's not as easy to gank the Axe. So some run at you brawler guy is always nice to just kill Axe, make it so that he can never cut. Because like TA is never going to do that, right? Sometimes Puck will be the option from the mid lane, or Invoker, you just rotate to kill the cutting Axe. So Earth Spirit's their option for that.
Yeah, and they go for a Monkey King.
Okay. Oof.
It got banned out against them in the previous game in the last phase. They don't want to have that happen again, so Heavy Monkey King it is, leaving us wondering what Bach is going to play.
It gives them really nice laning presence because they can, of course, monkey into many melee heroes, great. But when Axe plays into cutting, if your AA chases the hero down the lane and then Monkey jumps in the trees following, then Earth Spirit TPs in, you can quickly bring 3 heroes and then instantly get back to farming. So it is a pretty laning phase centric draft from TNC right now. Like, they've got the Monkey into the Axe, the Razor into the TA, and they have last pick in the draft to then have like the offlane countering the carry. So TNC in a really good position to have core for core matchups that should counter in all 3 lanes.
This seems like a pretty dank Drow game. I'm just looking like...
Still for a PSG.LGD?
Yeah, like you gust the Razor. He's not going to get the link off. You're a ranged hero. The Monkey King, you can gust him as well. Oh, they ban it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
JK.
They had the same idea as you.
Like, this is the type of lineup where if TNC, like, I don't know if TNC really plays it, but like a Furin offlane to pair with the Earth Spirit, just like, of course, like the Vanguard meta, the Axe being able to play into that later on, but just the idea of having a lane that takes towers into then coming mid. Like, I feel like taking this mid tower is so crucial in this type of lineup.
The Razor matchup should be really abused, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see this be like 5 to 7 minutes. I want to see heroes collapse on mid, take the tower, unlock the jungle. Axe needs to hit creeps and skip waves. TA needs to hit the jungle, just completely run them down.
I totally agree, because this Razor TA matchup, everybody says, oh, big counter. It's not. Like, if it's solo, you're totally right.
You need people with you.
The TA actually just fine. You just jungle, and nobody jungles as fast as you. You have a built-in Battle Fury on this hero, so Yeah, no, you're right. You definitely need to get something from it, and the Earth Spirit sets up for that. There needs to be some tower push. TNC has no heroes that hit towers. The Urion's maybe a little too off meta.
That's true.
But,
it is.
But like, is DK still around? Can we
DK is still in the pool.
I guess the key.
Viper no longer though,
Viper.
so they removed
Sorry,
that one still.
forgive me. I thought TNC had last pick. I misread the pick order. No, yeah. So TNC don't have last pick, so they aren't going to have 3 counters. I was like, I felt like that'd be a bit broken actually if they had that. So yeah, TNC do have to now kind of blind pick their offlane, allowing PSG to have the perfect carry
10
pick.
seconds remaining.
So do they have to have like a tanky hero, or
5
is that no
seconds
longer a thing?
remaining.
They can be pretty flexible with this last pick.
I think you're probably okay to not necessarily get a tanky hero here, just because Earth Spirit's tanky, and then Monkey King and Razor scale to be tanky.
Is there anything to be said for the high amount of, like, it's probably going to be Clock 5, Phoenix 4, right? You know you're going to go up against a Clock support. Any offlaner that particularly does well against that?
Is Beastmaster still available?
Beastmaster is still available. They'll go for the Sand King.
Okay.
So you can burrow out of the cogs. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You're never going to die to a Clockwork as a Sand King unless the carry is like some gyrocopter. Then your life becomes very difficult. Yeah, good against the TA, peels off the refraction
10
charges,
seconds
and they needed some additional stun. It's just the Earth Spirit with the real
5
stun in this
seconds
game. So
remaining.
Yeah, I guess the main thing here is it's not a scenario where it's a clean kill threat right now in Sand King, because Earth Spirit, he's not a hero that kills in lane. He just kind of exists. And now with the Sand King, they're kind of doubling down on the fact that Sand King will play independently.
Yeah, he just
and
cuts
it will be it'll be
Kill
Earth
the
Spirit AA together the entire time, moving around the map, killing with Monkey, killing with Razor.
it plays into exactly what you were saying you would like to see in this game with the TA getting punished by the Razor pick,
Exactly.
but through the Earth Spirit.
Exactly, yeah. Now PSG just need to pick up pretty much any characters going through. I'd like Gyro on their side now, honestly.
Gyro looks really
Yeah, I
good.
think Gyro looks pretty good.
Well, I mean, they could also anti-mage. It's a dank anti-mage game against Sand
Into
King
Monkey
Razor.
though.
Into Monkey, it's a little scuffed, but
Yeah.
I think Phoenix owns Monkey King. I think Clock does magic damage for Monkey King. TA will do fine.
What is it?
You may
It's
now
a
select
Shrek.
your heroes.
Okay.
So PSG come into this
All in.
series and yeah, potentially there are 2 options. It was either complete fight or go for like the 4 protect 1 style they run before.
Yeah.
They have fully opted against TNC. Their strat.
Oh, wait
is
a minute.
High pace.
Wait a minute.
That's an Ame Axe.
Is it a carry axe?
That is an Ame
carry
axe.
axe.
That's
No.
a carry axe.
No.
Okay.
Confirmed carry axe.
No.
Okay, so
We've seen it here.
we've
Wow.
not seen it here. I have to ask, is it like, didn't it get slightly nerfed? There was some change. What was changed? So for a
5%
while,
reduction on the spin with
okay, oh yeah.
the shard.
So for a while there was the axe build with the manta and the shard, and when that timing was hit, minute 20, 25, really good. Is that still something we should be looking for?
Potentially, yes. I think we've seen it already so far in DPC where they have been buying Manta. There isn't that instant like Hex hero that's going to be able to kill the illusion, so they'll still have the farm efficiency. The main thing is just like, it's all about Axe getting 1-2 items, the Dragon Lance Deso, and then fighting. Because TNC, like, Sand King into Axe lane, if that occurs, Sand King's going to have a great time, right? Like, this is kind of bold from PSG. Like, they have to have some like clear understanding of why they're picking this, because it doesn't feel.
I don't even care who wins.
No,
It's just
yeah.
like, I'm just so happy they picked the carry axe. Holy shnikes, this is cool. This is
Do you
good.
think they'll go for the Manta build, just like normal?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Of course they're gonna
Just checking.
He's gonna go beast mode this game.
And that does mean that they want to fight all the time, right?
Yes.
They still are now extra all in, even with them, especially with an axe. You don't want to go too late. You just want to get your items and run at your enemies.
Yeah, Roshan's gonna be their best friend. They have to kill their friend, but it's gonna be their best friend. They get that and go. Yeah. What a great
All right,
game.
very excited to see how this is going to play out. We're going to find out how it's going to play out together with Cap and AY.
Enjoy this.
Well, we had an exciting game 1, but game 2 is going to offer something very different in the carry axe. AUI, I know that you're a big fan of playing party queue. I know you experiment a lot in that. Have you tried carry axe?
I've never tried it, but
Okay.
I have a friend who's a big fan of the core axe.
See,
Even before it was good, even before it was good, he was doing this, and you know, we started winning with it recently. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Honestly, after that draft, I thought TNC had a pretty big advantage if it was Leshrac 1, but right now I forgot everything because I just want to watch this Axe. Like I just want to spin to win, you know?
Yeah, we have no idea what's going to be happening here. Axe, it did get buffed up, right? Like this shard is crazy good. Obviously, the most recent patch it took away 5%, but like Axe. The problem with Axe traditionally has always been he turns into this blink initiator that just dies so often, right? And he doesn't scale later into the game. This has made this hero actually output way more damage, has way more farming capabilities. It just feels like this shard gives him so much that he never had before.
Yeah, for sure. It's a completely different style of Axe. It's like a Terror Blade where you're just shoving every lane, you're getting all the farm.
Yeah.
And the thing with Axe before is he would get countered really hard by items, like a Yo Scepter, so you can use Blade Mail or BKB. This Axe, it's pure damage. It's just really hard to itemize against. It's only Aeon Disc, and even then, like, you're doing it on a really low cooldown.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be something that I think we're all going to learn a little bit from. I mean, you said LGD is the least traditional of the Chinese teams.
I think they are.
They've certainly proven that twice now. The only team to pick up that offlane DK so far this tournament besides
TNC's going aggro, though.
They are.
They know, like, if they put the Sand King versus Axe, he's going to get absolutely slammed in lane. Like, Sand King's not a strong laner, and Axe, I mean, he's off laner. He's going to be really strong in lane as a 1.
Yeah, and Monkey King has always been really good at being able to trade with Axe. In a safe lane scenario, you're able to trade with the Axe, and then on top of that, you can jump into the trees and chase after him when he does the creep cutting shenanigans. Here in a straight up tri-lane versus dual lane, can't say I've ever seen this, but I imagine it's going to be good for TNC.
I think LGD are looking, they're going to pull this wave on Clockwork. He's going to deny 1 wave from the Sand King, so Leshrak's still even on farm, and then he's going to TV bottom with a level 2, and they're going to look to play off that.
Rolling in, trying to take advantage of Xinkyu while he doesn't have Icarus dive, but no such luck there. Yeah, very, very smart. If they can just, especially since it's an aggro tri-lane into an enemy safe lane, if they could just keep the creep wave next to their tower for the first 2 waves, then there's why not being there is not really much of a detriment to them.
And LGD are doing a pretty good job of keeping that equilibrium. The lane's actually double waving into them, which means Clockwork might even opt to not TP right away and sort of pressure the Sand King a bit more, just because bottom lane's doing such a good job.
That is. Okay, so what are the rules of tri-lane? When you do an aggro tri-lane, we don't see it like super often in this current meta. What is your goal? What are you trying to do?
I think in this meta, because tri-lanes are not as favored as 2-on-2, your goal has to be to like win the lane so hard that it spills over into the game. That can mean killing them a lot of times so you get a lot of EXP, or it can mean just full zoning them from EXP. I don't think TNC are accomplishing their goals in this lane right now.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, the tri-lane sort of sus, right? Monkey King gets A. It's not, this wasn't favored by them. It's forced out because, I mean, there's a carry Axe. What's happening?
yeah, and he's getting everything he wants to. I mean, his CS is a little bit low, but considering the fact that he's only sharing the experience with a Phoenix, meanwhile the Monkey King is trading it maybe 3 ways half the time, then...
But look at mid lane. Armel is dominating, nothing to say in mid. I actually think this lane is not that bad for TA. I missed how the block went. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not good for TA. It's a Razor counter pick on the TA. But you can definitely usually play Dota in this lane. I don't think he's getting to play Dota soon.
All right, well, TNC finally do get a pull off that can pull the creep wave back. I feel like that's one of the objectives of a tri-lane, right? Pull the creep wave back so you can
get the equilibrium.
Get the equilibrium in your favor. Pull these heroes out far enough away from the tower, you can start punishing them. Roll in from Tim's going to be blocked by Y. Ame is going to be chased away from the hard camp here. Missed the boulder kick, though.
And you can see LGD, as soon as they got that pull off, they knew since they're going to lose the equilibrium, they rotated the Clockwork there right away.
Yeah.
Just smart read by them.
And now Clockwork is able to zone out the enemy supports while we have Xinkyu going for the easy camp pull, which he'd already sentried and unblocked. So now they're getting the equilibrium back into their favor.
Yeah, and this Sand King, despite Clockwork staying for so long, he's actually doing quite well top. He's same net worth. He has more CS than Leshak, but he's same net worth because he had to burn a lot more regen. But I think they're pretty okay with that. He had to 2v1 for a long time.
How has he been doing that? Did he pull the creep wave over to the neutral camp and like sandstorm it at some point in time, or?
I didn't actually get to see. I'm pretty sure it just went into his tower and he pushed it out. And,
okay.
I saw like Clockwork harassing him around that media camp and small camp. But yeah, no, he's completely fine in this game. Razor has 15 denies. That's a lot of denies.
Yeah, seriously, this mid lane is being dominated by RML, like you said, and that was probably one of the game plans for TNC, considering how good Nothing to Say was in that game 1, how problematic that Death Prophet was. They probably decided, RML, we're going to give you a good matchup against him, and you're going to need to shut this guy down, because he was a game winner for sure.
Yeah, and I do think this is a very TNC lineup. Like, this is what I wanted to see out of the game 2. I think they recently beat Vici with the exact same cores, the Razor Monkey King combination.
Yep.
They look good in that game.
They had it in the same situation, I believe, with Razor against TA.
Okay, so they have some extra experience here.
Yeah.
Always nice to have. Oh, these denies on the rage creeps are so good by RML here. He's just eking out every advantage he can in this matchup.
Pushing Nothing to Say back. So how do you play this matchup? You're saying it's actually okay for the Templar Assassin. How so? What is he supposed to do?
It's usually okay because Link is a 40. Oh, they're going mid with TV.
Why? He's trying to get the clocks and he does manage to snatch him inside of that one, but the roll-in is coming out from Tims. He might be able to kill the Clockwork, but RML is certainly in trouble. First blood goes to him, but he almost immediately falls, and it looks like Tim is gonna die as well. Nothing to Say is back in the game as a result of that.
What a brilliant rotation from LGD. The comms on that rotation had to be perfect there. As soon as Clockwork shows himself, Phoenix is already TPing. Because of the timing, they managed to kill the Razor. Even though he gets first blood, that's really good for TA. Just some space to actually get some lane creeps. And most importantly, they deal with the dire wagon there.
Yeah.
What they want to happen on TNC was they want to do the exact same thing. They want Earth Spirit to sort of walk over and use the wagon to pressure the TA's tower. Eliminating that is a huge... Ooh, offlane.
Oh, okay.
That's solo kill?
Boka's doing a good job, but looks like he got found trying to farm one of those creep waves, and yeah, Faith Beyond just...
And there's a wagon top too. This tower's going to take a lot of pressure here. I think in general, this series, LGD has done a lot of a better job at using their siege wagons than TNC has. I think in game 1, we saw the bottom tower just almost straight go down to one wagon. I think in top lane, like, these cores have to commit their TPs, and their towers are taking a lot of damage. Both, I mean, mid didn't take that much, but Razor versus TA, anything is good. And top lane took like 1100.
I like the way you think, Howie. That is one of my obsessions. Make
Wagon
moves
usage?
around siege wagons.
I mean, honestly, that's the best way to play Dota. It's you look at like what imbalances you have on the map, and you think, how can I use this? They are stacking for the TA as well. So with that move, TA's game is looking like pretty good, honestly, even with the Razor. And even though Razor had so many denies, like TA is coming back in this game, and I don't think Razor can stop her from farming alone now.
Well, Jinkyu is going to try and stack it a third time here. But should realize anyway that he correctly pulled it, but it is blocked. They actually put a sentry in both the hard camp and the ancient camp. I was going to ask you, like, what do you do about TA? Because it seems to be one of the heroes of the tournament. How do you stop this hero from just getting farmed?
It just ward her jungle low.
Yeah,
that's
it.
I read on Reddit.
He warded though. Oh, Faith Beyond in some trouble. This time around, Poke is not alone. He brought a couple of friends with him.
And both pairs of supports have been really good at connecting to a core to like sort of boost the core's damage and just get these key kills.
Yeah, this is despite like that one situation in mid where it was only the Earth Spin. Oh, we're gonna watch Boke. It looks like he just got a bit too low and Faith Beyond was able to run him down. But yeah, it feels like both of the supports are moving together, right? They're both like trying to make moves because they realize individually they're not necessarily the strongest. Like Phoenix isn't really a good ganking hero, but he provides a lot of damage. Clockwork provides a lot of little stuns.
Yeah, I think from a Dota theory perspective, you want both your supports to sort of join up towards a core between the 5 and maybe like 8-9 minute mark. And then from the 8+ minute mark, usually your cores of ultimates. So you bring like one support plus a core to another core and you make a move with that combination.
And then the support that's not there is then taking a free lane somewhere.
And supports at there gets to get them home, and then you have both supports at level 10, you hit our timing. With Dota.
They just barely managed to get the Phoenix there, and inside of the cogs, they do manage to finish off the Clockwork. Faith Beyond had to turn around and go for that kill on the Boke, and he got it, but it's going to cost him his life as RML. Ultimately, TNC out-rotate LGD in this top lane as Ame wasn't looking to fight. That being said, you can see what the downside is. Nothing to Say is going to solo take this mid tower with a double damage rate.
Man, I've seen Nothing to Say do this like 3 times this tournament, where he's like, everyone's doing something, he's 1v1ing the mid tower, He's just popping bottle charges, and he wins because he's just a mega Chad.
Yeah.
So no, it's a really good play because TNC, that play looks really good for them. It's a correct play too, right? And like AA even comes over, he drags the creep move off. You know, he manages to stun TA, but even though they made such a good play, I think this favors LGD.
It's about reading the difference between your heroes, right? Razor and TA, if they both rotate to a lane, like Razor's gonna feel a lot better. Oh, nice deny from Xin-Q. Managed to take that one away from Gabby, and he'll survive for it too. Templar Assassin, that's a farming mid. So if Razor's ever gonna rotate to a side lane, that's your time to pressure the mid lane as much as possible. Ame, he may be in trouble here. The cold feet should be able to root him down. Now he's hoping to just get as many spins as possible to kill Tims as a trade-off, but he doesn't get it.
Ame's having a rough game. Like, we haven't really seen much from this carry Axe. I mean,
yeah,
Axe is a strong laner, but if you put more heroes in, I don't think he's good in the 3v3 situation. His damage is too limited, and he can come back though, because I know if there's one thing my friends taught me ruining my games with core Axe is he farms really fast.
Burrow strike, but it's a bit too late. The split earth lands first.
I do want to mention one thing. Phoenixes recently have been going a lot more into Sunray.
Yep.
It's generally considered a better spell. But I think Xin-Q's adjustment to go more into Spirits is really good this game because he doesn't really have that normal offlaner, Mars, Titan, or whatever, that you capture Sunray off their spells. Instead, he has a carry Axe and Leshrac offlane.
Yeah.
So just going for the Spirits versus these two right clickers, Razor's actually, it's really annoying for Razor to get fire spirited.
Yeah, I was going to say their two cores, Monkey King and Razor, are both very dependent on their attack speed. And then on top of that, Fire Spirits is better wave clear as well, right?
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
If he's going to be spending a lot of time in this bottom lane, just shoving it out while the Axe is hitting jungle, then it's better farming ability for him.
Look at Ame. He's so sad right now. Nothing to say. He's like getting all the stacks like stupid carry. Just give me everything. And I mean, it's going to pay off for them, I think. I think it's a correct decision, but it's just sort of sad watching Ame. You saw him in Bloodseeker last game. It's such a free game. Like, he ended up like just dumpstering some fights later on. This is like the polar opposite of that game. So I'm excited to see how he comes back into this one.
Yeah, the Axe, this Manta build on Axe, it is a slow build up. There is a serious 10-minute window where you feel like this guy isn't actually doing anything for you because he doesn't have the Manta just yet. And now it may be slowed down even more as they do have the Ice Blast over the top that should make sure that Ame falls here. Now PSG.LGD is still going to take a team fight here. The hook shot into the split earth, nice combo onto Armel. It does trade out cores. Tim's is looking for a roll away, but the battery assault is of course going to stop that. Rolling boulder, Boomy. Maybe, yeah, he's gonna die as well here. Nothing to say as more traps. Faith Beyond has a split earth, unless they don't feel like going up that high ground, and they do not. They're a little bit scared.
That's a pretty smart play, just considering what heroes are on the Dire team on TNC. I mean, they don't know that Monkey King doesn't have ulti, but just imagine like an epicenter of Monkey King comes out there. You can lose a game like that. And it's like, what do you get? Like an AA? Like for what?
For all they know, the Sand King has his Blink Dagger already.
Yeah, I mean, it's AA. He's a dumb support. You just kill him now. Just kidding. They're backing up again. Good.
Once again.
Don't get baited. And that death on Ame was really sad because I know he was planning on TPing top there, but his TP was just off cooldown for a few seconds. He's like, I'm going to come back in this game. Against Nutri-Camp, there's a double wave top. I'm back. And then they just kill him, ruin his game. Very sad.
Did the double wave, did it die to the tower?
I think he got it. I think he got it, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, let me check. Did he use a glyph? Because I've done
the tower took no damage.
Okay.
So
I've actually used a glyph to stall the double wave just so I can get the farm. It's a terrible move. Don't do it at home. But oh, it feels, and if no one notices, it feels so good. Guys, sorry, I misclicked the glyph.
Yeah, misclick.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've done those a couple times.
Yeah, it's really good. And Faith Beyond's build this game, I think I haven't seen much of this Eternal Shroud item. Like when it first came out, I was seeing it built. Oh,
smooth from Y. Managed to use his hook shot onto Ame to get away. The Diffuser Blade, now the Boundless Strike, still slowing him down enough that they'll catch up to him here. It's actually going to be able to roll onto Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond's in trouble. He activates his damage, but they're just going to run after him here. Anybody to cut down the tree? Oh, the Phoenix tried, but he missed. He throws out the Supernova inside of the pit. They're going to run inside the pit, try and finish it off, but he explodes. He managed to get off a couple of Fire Spirits as well. Gabby's taking a ton of damage. He rolls on back into Tims. A Sunray burns out Gabby. That's just enough, but a Cooling Blade misses from the Axe. Fails to get the kill on Tims as he pops the wand to stay alive. Ultimately, a 2-for-4 exchange. What a sick play it would have been, though, if Xin-Q did cut down that tree that the Monkey King jumped to.
even though he didn't cut down a tree, he literally just 1v5 the fight at 12 minutes on Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like he hit like 8 fire spirits that fight. He got a full egg off. It was so perfectly placed. Like it was like one of those eggs. Like, oh, I think we can kill it. I think we can kill. Ah, no, we're all just stunned for 5 seconds. And
I can't help but wondering if, like, I don't blame Nothing to say. He's a Templar assassin. He should be farming. So that's that. But the axe, it felt like it didn't really do anything there for them.
yeah, it was sort of a weird fight because their 5 got called out, and my thought in my head initially is like, oh, there's a blink review on Sanking, good job, Y.
Yeah.
But then TNC, they're on the ball, you know, they're ready to get more. They catch the left track who's trying to go into AA,
Yeah.
and yeah, really well played by TNC there to chain the kills.
Yeah, absolutely. That was all Tim's making the read there.
Oh, there's a 5-second TP from Armel.
Yeah, they're going to start jumping into this bottom lane. They're going to go for Armel, and yeah, there's too many heroes here. He's got no allies nearby, so...
Such an unlucky death because he was out on normal TP, but sometimes like you're just playing the map, you're focused on your own game, you're like, oh, it's on TP here like 15 seconds ago, top lane though.
Chain stunned into silence, so even as he gets off the call, he's probably taking too much magic damage. A little bit more. The Sandstorm eventually does do it, but it's going to cost 2 of their heroes. Nothing to say is online. He's got the Dragon Lance Desolator build ready to go. Gabby sitting on the trees, though. Nothing to say. Not expecting this one. All of a sudden, the cold feet. You got the Ancient Apparition. Congratulations, but it's going to cost you 2 heroes as Gabby picks up a nice double kill.
That was a huge kill on TA. I mean, did you just see in that fight on Sanking? I think he did 1200 damage in a mode. Literally 2-shot the offlaner. But yeah, this is
Templar
I think this is why LGD was being a bit hesitant in a lot of their earlier chases. How TNC's lineup works is they do have heroes that run in, the Earth Spirit, the Razor, they can start these fights.
Yeah.
But if you chase a little bit too far after initial initiation, this Monkey King and Sand King are just going to turn on you and burst you. Really unlucky for Nothing to say. He actually didn't have any refraction charges and it was like on cooldown for 2 seconds. But yeah, good punish by TNC there. Oh, Ame, look at him. He's so happy. He's firing his first Ancients of the game. He's a carry roll, 16 minutes.
He's like, I'm glad you're
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean, to be honest, if you think about it, like you won't have any impact to 20 minutes when you get the shard anyways. So, you know, in their heads, they're giving everything to the TA and Axe will pop off later once he gets that shard.
Yeah. It is surprising to me that they're only down by 1,000 net worth, considering the fact that both TA and Axe have this timing at 10 minutes where they're like, I just want to farm.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a solid 5-minute window where you aren't going to have either one of those cores, and yet LGD is still okay.
I'm honestly surprised that LGD has a lead considering how well TNC has been punishing what you just mentioned, like sort of passive cores. I feel like in every fight they've like identified targets early, killed them, and then sort of gone the bonus kill. But yeah, LGD are definitely holding their own in that sense. Just some good individual plays, I think, from Jin Kyo and Nothing to say.
I'm going to posit something here to you. I think it's purely the fact that, oh, Innocence, very dead. No hook shot to be able to get away. I think this lead that LGD has is purely off the fact that they have a hero that can farm Ancient stacks, and TNC doesn't.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. I mean, I also, because you see, I play a lot of party queues, so I have a lot of friends who do really stupid things with Dota. So I have a friend, he plays exclusively like
we play party queue sometimes,
yeah,
right?
you're one of them. He plays exclusively Sand King offlane. He stacks the Ancients, and then he epicenters them. And with Sandstorm costing Epicenter, he's actually a good... I'm actually serious when I say this game would be better for TNC if they stacked Ancients and gave it to Sand King. Like, it would be a legitimately good play here.
Yeah.
But why would you think of that? It's super stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Well, it's not stupid. It works.
Yeah, I mean, but it's surprisingly good.
Roll in, Balance Strike first. They follow up with the silencer. They're going to be able to catch Jin Q before anything goes off. Meanwhile, is trying to protect Armel right now, and it looks like he managed to do it. The Cogs kind of separating the two of them, and the Templar Assassin is now stuck, surrounded by the Wukong's command. He does turn around, quickly kill both, but because this Wukong's command is such a good counter to the Templar Assassin, he just dies and dies again in these team fights. Now Tim's taking a whole heap of magic damage right now, and is going to get culling bladed, but at the same time, Gabby is putting the screws to this Faith Beyond Leshrac. He gets an ultra kill there. Not going to chase after the Rampage, though. TNC, they have a series to win here, and they do not want to get ahead of themselves.
Yeah, this Diffusal Blade build on Monkey King plus the stellar play from Gabby, it's just proving dividends here. What did I just say? I just said some nonsense. He's just playing really well, and this Diffusal Blade item.
Diffusal Blade, and he's playing really active, and he's doing well.
Because this item it's sort of like the Neil item of the patch. They buffed it a lot. They made it do 100% damage, even though I can't remember. So it's like 40 extra damage, and then you get 24 for Agi. So it's just this really cheap 64 damage, and you get a slow with it. And Monkey King's supposed to be good early game, but he's making it look fantastic. I really like it when TNC play these two aggressive cores under 1 and 2.
Yeah, what a massive difference this Monkey King compared to the Monkey King of last patch, where like people were building Battle Fury, Negative Scepter. It was like super farm oriented. Gabby playing very active with this diffusive blade. They're going to lose Boomy here right away. Both just managed to hit a 2-man Burrow Strike. The follow-up on the strike, only hitting nothing to say, and missing the Phoenix, who's going to use the Supernova here. Both trying to skitter away, but unfortunately, the Meld Strike from the low ground
This is Roshan.
lands true, and they're going to go for Roshan, and that is something that Boomy immediately recognized. He buys back on the Ancient Apparition, throws out an Ice Blast, sees, okay, they're not actually in the pick, guys. We can just chill.
Oh, and small thing about that, if you throw your AAL off the map now, it actually doesn't show your opponent. So I like that he threw it, but he didn't use it. I see that really often.
Yeah.
And it's a good buyback. I mean, you do not want nothing to say to have an Aegis this game. Man, this Monkey King went Diffusal Blade, and he's 1k ahead of a TA in net worth. I'm just so shocked by this, though.
Yeah, what's his kill score? 8, 1, and 2. I was going to say, there's no way
he's bossing it up, for sure.
TA, but he, off of all these hero kills, he's
Manta too. Manta, I think it's specifically versus TA, just because you can dispel or dodge that mode, and then you can also burn the additional refraction charges.
Yeah, that's
I also think it's sort of nice that their 3, 4, 5 all have good ways to burn off this refraction. I don't think TA can play the way she wants, and she shouldn't, because this was the first 2 TA. This is one of the first games I've really seen. TA is not punished as in you have to snowball and win the game, but in the game you feel comfortable scaling, so you're not under threat of her just like running you over.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly addressed it in so many ways.
Are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Axe though on Fate Beyond. He dies. His Leshrac. I haven't been paying the best attention to Faith Beyond's positioning in this game, but obviously we've seen him die a number of times getting picked off. Well, why is that? Is he doing something wrong? Is this part of his job, running down side lanes? So Gabby, hold up. See if he can kill Y here. Ice Blast, hook shot away, he's out.
Is under attack.
I think it's pretty much the Axe had a terrible lane and TA is just going to be farming. So both your cores are farming. You have to run down the side lane to make space. I think it's itemization. I was talking about earlier, but didn't get to finish. But his itemization seemed a bit weird to me just because it's Eternal Shroud versus AA. But he actually wants to get AA ulti just so he can make space for his cores this game. And I think it's worked out really well. He's done a lot of damage in team fights.
So essentially he has to be like ultra suicidal, running down side lanes, because otherwise it means TNC's invading the triangle and killing the Templar assassin.
Someone has to take the bad positions on the map.
Yeah.
And better your position 3 than your position 2 or 1.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if this axis is the one, but he's honestly getting there. He has a shard, he has a Manta. As soon as he gets his blink, I feel like we're going to see him pop off. I was actually thinking in this draft, because Razor usually counters carries, but Axe doesn't care if you link him, because he's doing damage purely from the shard pretty much.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like, maybe that's part of the reason why they decided to go with the Axe carry. There's some counterplays to a Razor.
I'm okay with that idea, except for the fact that I feel like Razor is solely picked just to screw over Templar assassin.
That's true.
Like, kind of no matter what your blink was going to be.
No matter what you pick, T is the one getting linked.
Yeah.
That is true. That's a good point.
Dagger and BKB are going to be next item for the carry Axe, but we're now beginning to see the effect of the Manta Illusions plus the Shard running down lanes, and this is going to just constantly create space. Now, part of the annoying thing is that it pushes all these lanes and you feel like you can't get aggressive against this Manta Axe, and it gives you an option to go late game if you're LGD. Do you think they have better late game than TNC?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I think just because Razor went treads over travels, I think the percent of them having higher late game is a lot higher because of how to scale. LGD have 2 force staffs, and it sort of reveals how they want to play the team fights. I think their idea is as soon as they get this Axe, you're going to have Axe blinking with Manta. They're going to try to burst on target, you know, maybe you have a Sunray or even commit an egg, and then you're going to try to kite out the TNC heroes, because TNC's heroes are very committal. Razor has to commit with Link, Earthspear has to roll in, you know, Monkey might have to jump in, and if you can kite that out, you will be able to win the long fights. You don't want to like go burst, play versus A, hope for the best.
Yeah. No, that is a really good point. All 3 of their cores want you to stay close to them. right? A good force staff against any one of them. Even Sand King, Burrow Strike into Epicenter. He wants you to stay in that position while he's Epicentering, get people out of Wukong's command, break the static link. Yeah, these force staffs are going to be super good.
Clicking on these TNC heroes, I wonder what timing they're waiting for. I think it's the BKB on Monkey King, and then they're going to want to go. This is like one of the latest Roshans being alive in a TA game I've seen this tournament. I think that bodes well for TNC right now.
Haste.
Yeah. The sad part for them is their lineup just doesn't really do Rosh. It's
very elusive.
Yeah. Does manage to blink away.
Yeah, you're right, because the Monkey King nerf, does it hit Roshan? It doesn't hit Roshan anymore, right? That's one of the big nerfs?
Yeah, the Aghanim Scepter no longer does that for you.
So they basically have nothing to kill Roshan at all this game. Maybe on Razor against his like 25 talent.
Yeah. Oh, Fate Beyond. Gonna get the side lane tier 1 tower.
I feel better already.
Monkey King is gonna go for a Scotty.
Fate Beyond's actually making so much space with no resources given to him.
Yeah, he is.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It does cost him a number of deaths, but
No buyback.
good deaths and bad deaths. Gabby choosing not to go for that one, but he jumps back down into the two-man call from Ame. Now the shots are rating in from nothing to say. He's picking at Gabby. Can he actually finish him off inside the Wukong's command? He turns into trickery for a second. It is running away. The BKB Sunray tries to jump to the trees, but Jin Q denies him. Burnt to a crisp. A double kill for nothing to say. Looking for the triple as the roll away is going to be blocked by Ame, and they manage to get the Culling Blade onto him. That is a team wipe for LGD, taking out TNC just outside of the Roshan pit without losing a single hero. Curtis, that is just a one-sided team fight. LGD is now in full control of this game.
Just amazing spellcasting there from LGD. They found the best target to kill, the AA, the most crucial part of the team fight, honestly, with no buyback in front. A little bit of a mistake from TNC there. And then, you know, Leshak lived with like 20 HP, and I think Monkey King barely lived, like he barely died off the Sunray with like 20 HP left. Just a game of inches here, and it completely like sets up the pace for the rest of the game.
Yeah, what an entrance from Ame.
This Leshak build is actually really good this game. Like the more I watch it, like he understands how the damage comes out through TNC is very sustained damage. They don't really have the normal burst, even though they have an AA lineup. And if he gets AA ulti, they have to cast every spell on him, and he'll feel happy. He gets this sustain, he gets a force staff just to kite the spells, and now he has a BKB. He can run in and create even more chaos.
And look how farmed they are. Jin Q even has a Shiva's now. They do catch him with the silence. They're going to follow up for the rolling boulder stun, and he will die, so maybe overestimating how much farm he has.
That was also a really funny death. Like, he just dumpstered them in a team fight. I think Phoenix had like 10,000 damage the last fight, and he just like dives in mid to kill some more creeps, and then they just kill him.
TNC is not one to back down from losing one fight. They're chasing after a hasted, nothing to say, and they just might get up. The Burrow Strike, the follow-up rolling boulder hit, and that is going to be the Aegis going down. They're going to turn back. Gabby, he does have Wukong's command, is tempting to throw it out now, but he's not sure about where to place it. Why? Kind of going in and back out, thanks to the force staff. The BKB from Armel is allowing him to fight underneath Faith Beyond right now, but they do have to retreat as the BKBs are wearing thin. You could see, though, they were even willing to go back in if LGD chased them.
Just that dance going on, same as game one, where they're waiting for one person to overextend, and then they're all ready to turn at the exact same point. So that axe was pretty good last fight, right? Got the two-man call. I think he did a good 2,000 damage, like in the blink of an eye there. He's going BKB. See, my friend goes Moonshard. I think the BKB is better.
Yeah, that does sound a lot better. Moonshard.
I mean, you attack faster, you get more spin.
Yeah, of course, sure.
Look at
Faith Beyond keeps on playing the role of, I'm not sure how that boulder didn't hit, but that's fine. They still got him. Faith Beyond, again, just running down lanes, drawing attention. There's a reason that LGD has been able to keep TNC from invading their triangle or shutting down this Templar Assassin. It's because the space that Faith Beyond is creating.
Yeah, to be honest, I've liked most of his plays, but I think at this point in the game, I think that's actually a mistake.
When you're up 10k, you don't need to create space.
Yeah, I think it's time to group up and do your thing together. Like, these type of kills we saw on the kill on the Phoenix in mid, TNC was able to snowball off that, and right now they're snowballing into an objective. You get a bit more map control. I would have really liked to see LGD like I mean, they're styling right now, so they're fueling themselves. You know, that Phoenix dive. Lashrak's like, oh, I'm just gonna solo take your tier 2. But I want to see more of the normal, methodical Xiao Wei style gameplay. I think he's gonna have some words after this game, actually, despite how well they're playing.
I bet in some ways it's the axe, you know? You just want to
that's true,
do
actually.
the split pushy shenanigans.
No,
like,
Almei's probably had a terrible game. He's like, yo, boys, buy me some time. I need to show some stuff. Xiao Wei's never gonna pick this for me again if I don't.
He got an illusion room too, so
Ooh, that's hype.
he's putting that to good use right now. The call going out. Boomy. That's going to be the target. Hook shot barely missing because Armel actually turned around for a second. Can't really blame Y for that miss.
Yeah, no, this AA, he's just having such a rough one. How LGD, there's just so much to jump him, he's just so squishy and dies in 1 second. You know, there's a game earlier, EG versus TNC, where TNC had a Spectre and Fly was playing an AA. And I was actually thinking during that cast, maybe AA should stay in the fountain until the fight, like the Spectre uses Haunt, and he can just get a good ulti off and then TP into the fight later.
Oh, got him. I'm not sure if that was a long TP, but either way, Tim's gonna die here because the constant stuns of the clockwork.
Faithman, despite that like last mistake I think from, I don't even know honestly. Like these guys right now, they have a way better read on the game than I do, but he's been everywhere in this game. I feel like any side lane I look at, Faith Beyond's like going on someone, creating some chaos so that nothing to say, and like Axe is completely caught up this game. This doesn't happen unless Lashrak is playing like an absolute maniac.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
and now we just need to be able to see how good Axe is going later into the game, or if it's just simply going to be a TA show.
Yeah, that's true. Because TA is also looking very powerful.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering if this AA should try to play more towards the fountain this game at some point. There's just so much stuff to kill him.
Yeah, I don't mind it when you have buyback, but like
yeah, that's a good point,
the last time when he didn't have when he bought back, and then I could still see him even though he didn't get caught. Like when they smoked, he would still be on the front line.
Yeah,
where you aggressively ward or something, and I'm like, hey, you don't have buyback, man.
I saw a tweet from PPD this morning, and it was like, daily reminder that your 5 doesn't have to place or buy all your wards.
Yeah,
I think this is a perfect example of that, because in this game, he should not actually place any obs wards past the defensive ones. Yeah, the Earthsmith should have them, or even like your Sand King. Like, wards are free, guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The heroes that are going to be moving around the most, the heroes that frontline especially, should be the ones holding
it's
at least
actually
somewhat.
a really big deal, because AA in the last, I think, 3 or 4 fights has died without getting any spells off. And this is a hero, like, he's been first 2 this entire tournament with like some 65% win rate, and that's super impressive because he's being picked in the first phase.
Smoke on the low ground, hook shot immediately going out. The rest of LGD was backing away, but thanks to the hook shot, they're going to re-engage and bring down Tims. Now the rest of TNC, Gabby wasn't quite there. He was on the trees on the other side of the river. He's looking to join the rest of his allies now. Boom, he's going to be caught by Faith Beyond, blowing him up. The Supernova going out as well. Right as Gabby activated the Wukong's command. This is not where Gabby wanted to be, but they do manage to kill the Supernova. He's taking so much damage from nothing to say though, trying to juke him out, but it's not going to happen. Nothing to say. He does manage to output the damage, but he dies almost immediately afterwards. The Razor and the Sand King did too much damage to him. He's actually dead for 90 seconds.
I would say pretty good fight from TNC there. It's very hard to take these sort of fights in the open right now, and I think how they executed is pretty good. They got the egg off, and usually you see an ally stunning so the Phoenix egg lives. The Sand King actually hit a really nice stun just so they could finish off that egg. Oh, look at Faith, he's already on it though.
Yeah, he really is. Trying to split push out. Boke is going to be caught. Now Boke, I believe he should be okay just because of Burrow Strike Yules, but I guess the hook shot, oh, he missed it.
That was close.
Just a blind hook shot and barely missed it.
I gotta say though, like this Axe is sort of like, he's like waddling from his tier 2 all the way up there. It's sort of sad because I feel like you compare it to a Bloodseeker. Oh, there's still catch.
Burrow Strike. Oh, he doesn't get it off. He gets called Split Earth.
He's not spinning.
And he's not spinning at all. So, but fortunately, there's spider legs. So, Boke hiding in a corner here. He reads that Faith Beyond was going to chase after him in that direction. Yule's Scepter, blink up in a second, but it's not in time.
He literally got 0 spins there. Yeah. That's one of the more unlucky things I've seen in Dota. Must have been like 15 hits.
Okay, so we talked a lot about LGD. We even thought about like what is going to be their late game and how well Axe will do. But what about TNC's side? If this is going to go late, how do they win it? How do they itemize it? Like this Monkey King, for example, very strong late game hero, but he also didn't go Ags.
I think they have an idea. If you click on the Razor, he's actually going for what I like to call the 1v5 items, the Butterfly Satanic. I think this hero actually can scale in this game. He already has... He didn't take the armor talent just because, I mean, the ultimate's really good and he's a Shiva's already. But if he hits this Butterfly Satanic, this hero will out-carry TA. Once you nullify the TA, I think the matchup starts to look a bit more even. You know, this Axis monkeying, if he gets to Satanic, all of a sudden when you call him, you're not killing him on this burst. TNC, they can... If they take a fight where LGD overextend a bit into like one of those epicenters of Monkey King Ring, they can definitely win fights still. Even down this gold.
Also, can we see the Ancient Apparition? He got a shard, didn't he?
He did get a shard.
Okay, so what do you think about that one?
It's a really good shard.
Okay.
I think specifically this game, you can cancel the Axis Blink, which is always great. And you can burn some refraction charges, also always great. But most importantly, like, you're not a useless piece of shit on the map. Like, usually, you can't push lanes, and you can't frontline in team fights. You literally, like, that's why I'm saying, like, maybe you should sit in a fountain, because this hero doesn't do anything for your map. The shard actually lets him do something.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That has been, I think, the go-to phrase for everybody. Ancient Apparition shard is good because you can actually hit some creeps.
Yeah. I mean, map control is generally done by your creep waves. Like, creep waves are your vision, and they sort of, if you like draw a line between each creep wave that you have, it sort of tells you where you can go on the map as a general rule.
Sure. So in this case, TNC, they can go bottom lane. They can't really get close to the Roshan pit right now. If they do so, they're probably going to have to go for a smoke. Roshan is going to spawn in 15 seconds. Tim's going to back up. Probably time for that smoke.
Under attack.
TA Enchanted Quiver. I think one of my favorite items on her. Just lets the meld be so easy to hit. The cooldowns actually like line up pretty well too. Oh, actually perfectly. I thought Quiver was 6 seconds for some reason.
Does that mean the side blade is like mega huge?
It does.
That one hit?
It does. I've seen a clip of TA like hitting someone like 2,500 range away. TNC set up for this Roshan though.
TNC, they've got really good AoE fight for this Roshan. First strike on into the pit, but he's already been caught by the split earth. Boat is in trouble, and he's definitely dead. The rest of TNC still trying to find an opening here, and so it looks like Y was actually intercepting. He does die. Gabby gets off his ultimate gear, but he has to get away. It's the Supernova. Now the call follow-up. The Raids are going to die to the side blades, and they calling blade down the Monkey King. They have no buyback on their cards, so this Roshan is LGD's.
Yeah, I mean, TNT were in position, but that fight's just, it's so hard to take from that angle. I think what you'll see a lot of teams do is they'll sort of come like in through mid lane and try to wrap around. But because of the heroes on LGD, they have like this massive, honestly, Axis is really at this point just because of the pure damage.
Sure.
Because they kill it so fast, they had to take sort of weird angle, and you sort of saw San can go in there. It looks weird, but like he sort of has to check the HP.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's a hard position there, I think, to take that fight. But like, you can't just give them Aegis for free at this point. It's a risk, and it didn't work out, but I think you do go for that fight.
Beyond. Gonna start chipping away at the tier 3, pushing back Boomy, TNC, and maybe saying goodbye to 2 lanes, depending on how bold they feel. With,
I think, yeah, 2 lanes for sure. You're right, they have bottom tier 2.
Yeah.
They kill buildings really fast. This TA just has all damage items right now.
Dire's top tower.
And Lashak actually has a spider leg, so they can pass that off for TA for an extra slot here. So he's going to feel really good this game.
Yeah. Overwhelming blink for Ame, so even more big-time damage coming out from that axe. The Templar Assassin finishing up an MKB. So that butterfly that Razor was going, you said the 1v5 items, well, that's already been countered before he can even finish it.
Yeah, that's rough. And he just doesn't have the gold and space on the map to get there. LGD managed to secure a 30k gold lead. I did want to mention one thing. Why? Oh, there might be a fight though.
They're trying. TNC, they are not ones to sit in their base for long. They managed to get a jump onto Y. Glimmer KP's trying to get a hook shot out of here, but
he won't be able to chain stun to death.
That was a really good read on the map. Even though you're down 30k, they understand if they wait in their base, this game's over.
Yeah.
The Aegis is gonna, like, they're just gonna use Aegis and siege high ground. Look at nothing to say. He's so sneaky. He's setting up for that double meld strike. I did want to mention though earlier, he had the Titan Sliver. I was just thinking, like, as a 5-position player, when's the last time I got to get this item?
Yeah, that
you
is
just
true.
snatched up real quick. No one cares about the supports.
No, nobody really does. I That's why I love the neutral items that are so obviously support items.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
you don't get
the
left
Philo Stone, and then like your dogs are off and takes it from you anyways.
Jumping on the boat. But Gabby's in position here. They get the right kind of chain stun here onto the Templar Assassin. No, they're going to go with the Phoenix instead. Silence him up, and Jin Q ends up dying. That means that they can stay inside this Wukong's command. Boat's coming back in. Bro Strike going out, but he missed. The Yule Scepter going out for Faith Beyond, a defensive one that allows him to be able to survive through the initiation of the Sand King. Now Gabby forced to leap away to the trees. The rest of TNC is also out. Ultimately, that wasn't a bad trade-off.
No, that was a good fight. I mean, how TNC are playing this, it's very fearless. Like I can, even though they're down 30k gold, they're the aggressors. They're the ones who they have a good understanding of the game, and that they cannot just wait around and lose this game. I can really appreciate that. Look at A, he's clearing bottom wave just with the shard and the AOT.
Yeah,
misses a creep, but way better than just like doing nothing here.
yeah, for sure. One problem for him though,
yeah,
he walked over a Templar
he's having a
Assassin
rough
trap
one.
because he doesn't have a TP. So he's trying to figure a way to get out of here. Hookshot's gonna miss. They spot him for a second here. He's slowed down.
He's fine.
This is all about time. How much time and space can you create here? And they know he forced out to the left. He's gonna be spotted on the creep wave now. Looking to slow them down. It's inevitable that he dies, but at least he can create as much space as possible that the Sand King won't have to use buyback or anything.
That's a lot of time ball, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
He has buyback too, so that's a good play by him there.
Yeah.
So Butterfly up on Razor. I'm trying to think, like, okay, so in this fight, they need to, I think TNC actually have to go on LGD first and get a good link off.
Yeah.
And then after get link off, they're not going to kill TA, but they need to make it feel like LGD need to commit. And then once they commit, they can get off like a good Wukong's and Epicenter. Like that's the only way you can take a fight. Or fight in like your fountain. That's always an option.
Yeah, just, you know, just drag them back to the fountain.
Pull an IG type of question marks, mentally break them.
Next thing you know, they're running into your fountain.
Yeah,
you've won
it
the
can
game.
happen.
Templar Assassin getting the late Aghanim Scepter. I was waiting to see that one. So now he can be all over the map. Scotty
it's also very nice because you can get out of the Wukongs really easily with that. It's only 1 second.
Yeah, no, that nice.
And the animation is weird too because you're not used to seeing it.
Yep.
So like the TA just sort of stands still for a second. You think he like froze and he's out of there.
He's just gone.
Because at the same time, like TNC is 30k gold. If they mess up at execution or they can't kite the fight properly, they're gonna lose.
Flicker. Yeah, the end disc. Tim's searching for a way out of this one. Oh, Armel, who was stuck inside of the cogs there and managed to use a hook shot. The supernova is going to explode, re-stun him. Now the BKB is worn out. Faith Beyond could be there with Split Earth and the call as well from Ame's axe. He's dead for 90 seconds. And Boomy, well, you're going to fall as well. He does have buyback there, but it's been hard enough for TNC to be able to win these fights with all 5 of their heroes now left in a 3 versus 5. It seems a near impossible task. This, I believe, is where the fountain strategy comes to play.
Bait them in.
Drawing him in as much as possible with his dead corpse, it seems. Is he going to come back down into the hook shot? Gabby does manage to get a really good boundless strike, but unfortunately, everybody is so damn tanky. He pops Wukong's command, they just fight through it. He ends up dying, and that's it. GG from TNC. LGD will take this series 2-0.
Axe is really good in the Wukong's command, because usually you can't man fight a Monkey King, but he just dishes out that pure damage.
True, true.
That just...
He does the call, he's got a bunch of armor, he spins a bunch on you. Yeah.
I think really well played by LGD. They